Great. Everything seems good. Hmm. What's going on, Umar? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, you're first. You're first today. Hmm. What is the rest of this stuff? Just sharing some links real quick before we get started. Making sure everybody's here before we start to talk about some important stuff, and then I have to repeat myself. So I'm gonna just wait a little bit for some more people to come in to the stream. Adam might pop in later. Sam might pop in later. Different individuals might pop in later. It's a Monday, so uh, some people might pop in, others might not. Fucking, why am I watching this goat and this man fight each other? What the fuck is going on?
What's good, JayTech?
What's going on, man?
Bro, my PlayStation's still messed up, bro. I'm about to go send it in.
Um, did you ever call PlayStation for like?
Yeah, I just called them yesterday, and they gave me an email, and I'm gonna send it in today. Like I'm gonna send it like through the mail or whatever.
No, I mean before yesterday. Did you call them to see if they had a fix? Because sometimes they actually have a fix that might help. Did you ever get
Nah,
a walkthrough of like maybe they could help you get through? Like what's wrong with it again?
it's a software issue, I think, because what happened was, when it does a system update, it was updating, and my power wire was a little loose, and so like was moving my PlayStation just a couple of inches so I could put my controller down, and when I moved it, it ended up unplugging in the middle of it updating, and then since then the problem started, and pretty much whenever I turn on the PlayStation, it shows the logo, and then it goes to a complete black screen, and I can't do anything on it. It just complete black screen. I put it in safe mode, and I did all the instructions it told me to do. I did every option on that shit, every option. I even talked to the guy. I was just like I said, I was talking to him yesterday, but I also called them today just to see, like, I'm gonna send it today, but I also called it today just to see if I could get it fixed before like here in my house before I have to go send it in. Because if I have to go send it in, I gotta go pay like $170.
Oh, okay.
So, and you already know me. I don't got money like that or whatever. But my point is, Yeah, I tried everything, but for like the last 2-3 weeks, I haven't been able to play, bro. I've been trying everything.
Okay,
It's
let's see.
just crazy. I'm gonna end up having to send that in, and then 5 months later, I'm gonna have to buy a $600 console.
Well, a little bit later than that. We got about a good 9 months. So you got 9 months. So you're not.
Oh, we
Yeah,
do we?
it's coming out in November. It's basically 9 months from now. Yeah, we got until November.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I was talking to my boy yesterday. I think he said 6 months, and I was like, "Oh, does it come out in 6 months?" And he told me that shit.
I don't know, man. I mean, it
No,
could
I believe you. I
it
believe you.
could
No,
it
I
could
know.
come out in October instead of November. So I mean, anything's possible. I heard that they could go for that, but we should probably wait. I mean, if they were gonna come out in October, they definitely would have been talking about their specs. But a lot of people are freaking out today because Microsoft talked about shit that we already knew.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but with PlayStation, I will say it's a tad bit different. And the reason why it's a little bit different for PlayStation, like everybody should know already, it's because you got games and the other person doesn't. The other person is done with this gen. This generation is completely fucking done for them. You know what I'm saying? Like
True.
they're like Xbox doesn't have anything else to show off. Their next game is Halo. They're literally their next big game is at the end of the fucking year. They don't got shit. They got nothing but time to talk about the future of next gen. PlayStation, however, they got games that can't even fucking remember the list because of so many fucking games. So
No, that's a good point though, JTech, because they like nobody's talking about that. Like everybody's being hush hush about that situation, but it's true. Like we got Neo 2, we got The Last of Us 2, we got fucking Dreams. Dreams just came out. Like
mm-hmm.
there's hella games that are coming out.
Ooh, I
And ain't
like
nobody
that.
talking about that. Everybody's worried about next gen. Like next gen is not here yet. Like next
Yeah,
gen's a
but they want it to be here. They want it to be here like yesterday. Like I'm dead
but
ass serious. If they could have next gen right fucking now, they would have it. They would have next gen right now. They really would. That shit is so crazy because I'm dead ass serious. They will have it. That shit is
it,
it's so fucked up, man. It's like
it's it,
that's
it's
them.
so now I was about to say it's always excited to have new hardware. Like that's always gonna be a thing. But I don't understand why like they're ODing it. Like they're over here pretty much saying
They need
oh
it
like
for
that's
their console war. Like they
yeah,
don't feel
exactly.
that
Like
they can successfully defend their system currently, so they need a new system uh to feel like they have some superiority over the people that kick their ass all gen. And that's what it's really about. Hey, we have a new hardware. It's better than your fucking current gen hardware. We're moving on from this generation. It doesn't matter if you kicked our ass. We're moving on to the next gen, and because we know more information about our hardware than you do, that means we win. Like literally,
what's the difference? Yeah,
it's like whatever
stupid.
it takes, like for them to claim that they have some sort of small, tiny ass victory. That's what they're running around with. Like I'm not saying it's cool that we know some stuff about it, but it's obvious shit. Have we saw the interface? No. That's what I care about. Have we saw all of the stuff that they talked about today in action? No. And I'm not talking about on a demonstration stage. I'm talking about real gamers in the comfort of their own home trying to activate these features and them running smoothly. You see what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
right there, that'll be the real question from the shit that I heard today. I mean, that shit better be powerful if you're gonna be doing all the crap that you're claiming you're doing. But they're not talking about how this is gonna make the games look even better or shit like that. We know the games are gonna run good, but
In other words, it's pretty much just more of the same at this point. Because if you look at it, it's like, what are y'all getting excited for? Like, even if y'all did have the more powerful this, the more powerful that, the more features this, what does it matter if you don't have any games? They still don't. I really don't understand why they still don't understand that one concept, bro. Like,
because see they're on a whole nother level. They're not gamers. Like, I'm dead serious. They're not even gamers anymore. They're not gamers. That's the last thing that these guys are.
Yo, JayTech, real quick, a little side note. It kind of relates to this, but a little side note, real quick. I was talking to my boy yesterday, right? I mean, he's more of an acquaintance, if I'm gonna be real. But
Okay.
I was talking to him yesterday, and he was over here telling me, and he was just getting so excited about all the things that are to come. And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, bro, you know, most of the things you're telling me won't be here until like at least 10 years, right? We'll say at the soonest, it'll be
Uh
5 years. You're still waiting an entire gen. What are you gonna do for 5 years, bro? While
huh.
waiting
So
for
what was like
everything to,
what specify what he was talking about? What was he waiting for?
bro, he was basically saying like, all right, basically, he's pretty much just saying, and I actually read an article on this, but he was pretty much just saying that, oh, going towards in the future or whatever with the cloud gaming and this and that, and he was pretty much he wanted to really emphasize the point that basically we're not going to be playing any like single player games. Like everything's going to be kind of like online. Like basically everything's going to be more connected in that sense where just everything's online, everything's cloud streaming, everything this and that, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Now I didn't outright disagree with him. What I was trying to understand, what I was trying to put through his head is that okay, even if that is the case, and they'll be a step ahead. And another thing, we don't even know what Sony's doing. So you say they'll be a step ahead, but you don't even know Sony might adapt, which companies do. But moving forward, even if they are a step ahead, what are you doing for 5 years, bro, or more? I'm literally doing the
Console war
lowest amount
shit.
of years.
Literally console war shit. I asked that same question. Remember, I asked that same question last month. I was like, are the Xbox fans really gonna try to defend this system and do the console war shit for 10 months, 11 months, going into November? Are they really gonna do it? Guess what? They really are doing it. Like there's no fucking joke. They
Bro,
really
it's
are.
cool.
They're fucking
It's
doing it.
it's cool to love something or to love a particular thing, but you can't just be completely blind, like bro. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, like let's say you have a brother or sister, they're your siblings. You can still love them. They'll still be your family at the end of the day. But if they kill somebody or they do something really bad, you're not just gonna overlook it and keep on overlooking. Like nah, come on. You know what I'm saying? That's a weird ass analogy, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like you can still love something, but you can't sit here and overlook all the bad shit that they're doing, all this crazy shit. Like nah, I don't get that. I always look at things both ways, JayTech. You heard? I always look at it the positive way and the negative way. So, like, you know how they say play devil's advocate? I play both. And I do it in the sense where I think both ways and I see what one side has to say and I see what the other side has to say. And then I make basically my own conclusion based on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather than just hearing one side. I feel like that's the best way to do it. My damn cat opened my door. Ah, he's annoying. This dude opens my door like 20, 30 times a day.
I got a good idea for where I can just play some consoles. Yeah, I'm about to legit make a real console war fucking level. I'm about to make a legit level.
I wish I could be playing that dream shit right now if it wasn't for my PlayStation. I already bought the game and everything.
Damn, bro. Fuck. There's some
Bro,
fucking good shit on here too, bro. Like I'm not even joking. Like they
I
got
seen it, bro.
everything on here. They're
I
like they
seen
got
it, bro.
every console, every fucking like anything you can imagine. People have
Bro,
already created.
I seen a few videos, bro, and I
Yeah, the
stopped. I
PS3.
clicked the iPhone button. I just stopped, and I was just like, yo, bro, I can't believe this is really happening to me right now. And that's why I'm not even researching any more videos on other people playing it because I'm just gonna get mad angry over it. Like it's crazy.
What was
It's
like
crazy.
what was a good Nintendo system that I can find? Like let me see N64. Do they got like an N64 system? No, 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 no. Let me see a Nintendo 64. Nintendo. I got some Nintendo shit over here. Don't want to go too far back. Most motherfuckers that visit this world might not even know these consoles. Let's see. Video game consoles. Let's see what they got in this. Oh shit, okay, they got a lot of stuff in here.
Oh
Okay.
wait, did
They
you hear
got
the new news though, JTech?
no. Tell me.
Um, about that new patent that just came out.
Oh yeah, the heart monitor for the controllers for the lower part of the. Yeah, I heard about that.
Yo, has that been out, or that's something? Because I don't think the patents came out for it.
I don't think it's exactly what people hyping it up to be, but it's cool because it gives more input, you know. So
Yeah,
it's gonna be a
exactly.
more it's gonna be a very responsive controller. Yeah, it's really gonna be responsive.
Yeah, but not only that, I feel like there's other. So there was one main point. This article I read. There's a real. It's actually, and again, like at the end of the day, not all patents actually make it to the end game and whatnot. Like
Mm,
some are just they don't get past the R&D and stuff. But I really hope this one comes true because basically besides all the features and the heart rate and all the things that it's gonna do, this is the thing that's kind of important that they mentioned in the article was like that using that biofeedback, bro, they'll pretty much be able to like pretty much collect data, right?
yeah,
Depending on your emotions. Now it kind of sounds a little weird that way, but you get the gist of it. In other words, they
yeah,
use the biofeedback to collect data from the game, and the reason why they're doing that, right, is so that they can literally invoke a particular type of emotion from you. And when let's say you play a game, right, like you play a scary game like Dark Souls or Bloodborne, and you get
uh,
really really scared, the controller is gonna know that you got scared. It's gonna feel that elevated heart rate, and it's gonna save that. And then when the game developers go make a game, they're gonna make more. They're gonna make games they're gonna make the games tailored to that. Like in other words, they're gonna make it so that they keep on getting those same type of reactions and emotions from people. You see what I'm saying?
yeah, I got you.
That shit's kind of dope when you think about it, bro. Like,
Well, Sony's definitely gonna have games like that. I mean, it's gonna be cool to like play games like what's that game called? You know that game? You know the fucking game PT.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah, yeah.
we still have access to that fucking game, so it's gonna be dope to like play that fucking shit.
Nah, but I can't wait because if you think about it, it actually might make it easier for them to make games that are really emotionally like you see what I'm saying? Because like when you're scared, your heart rate goes up, or when you're this and that, you sweat and whatnot, like through your hands and stuff. So it's like they'll be able to really, and I guess that's why you brought that up, for the horror wise. So it'll be real good for like scary games. Probably be
Yeah,
especially good for those. But I don't know. I can't see with it. I can't wait to see where they go with it, bro. Hopefully they
yeah,
go through with it.
it's about to be a lot. It's just the technology for these consoles. That's what we want. Like this time around, yeah, features are gonna be cool. I'm definitely gonna want the systems to have a good amount of features that are like completely different from each other. Like I wanna know that. Um, but don't rely so heavily on it. You know,
Yeah,
like
that's not the
Microsoft,
focus. The games are.
yeah,
Yeah.
Microsoft in recent years they relied so heavily on features that they lost their way as a game company. Like, yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
can be a business all you fucking want, but I mean, let's be 100% honest. You're still a game company. You
Yo,
still are.
JTech, my bad. Quick, one more side note. One more side note. He was over here saying, right, that pretty much that he feels like the only thing PlayStation has is games. What do you think about that?
And is that a bad thing? Like what do you mean? Like it has a system. The system is great, and the the system has games. I mean, I could have swore these were game consoles. Like if they
Exactly.
don't have if they don't have fucking games, I don't really see a whole point. You know, I just don't really understand that one. That one's pretty stupid.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like he was saying like what did he say? He was like oh yeah, the PlayStation's cool and not, but I mean, if you see, what Microsoft's doing, but right now you can kind of see what PlayStation's doing, and what PlayStation is doing is pretty much all they have is those games. So as soon as those games go away or whatever, then that's where Microsoft's gonna rise or some shit like that. And I'm just looking at him like, bro, you're in a dream.
See, that's what I was telling you a little
You're in a
earlier.
dream.
Like they're waiting for Microsoft to have some sort of amazing comeback, and it's like I don't know if that shit's happening. Not the way that they expect it. I just don't see it happening. You know, like who
You know what?
knows?
Maybe it's a little bit easier to say because we're on this side versus the other side. But I'd rather a company be more consistent with their shit rather than just be really really shitty and then be really really great. Like I'd rather be consistent. You feel what I'm saying?
Uh, yeah, I got
Because
you.
if that's the case, like for example, you see how well the 360 sold, right?
Mm.
What happened with the Xbox One?
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. It wasn't it wasn't just hey you're good here you're bad there, but you know it's all about that launch. It's all about that fucking launch. I swear to God, it's all about that launch. Like, and they didn't understand that. Like that's one thing that they didn't understand. They didn't understand that launch.
That's what he was trying to say. But
Like,
what do you mean by that, JTech? Because I think
well, see, they
the
wanted
launch
this.
was like,
See, they focused on features. That's why they got fucked up. They focused on
yeah.
features. They were like, okay, we got this. We got NFL. We gotta take over the living room, and you can do this on Netflix, and you got this, and you got that. And we want you to also be online all the time because we're giving you the ability to use all these features. And that's what people didn't like. They were like, oh, no, I don't want that. That's not what I want.
I don't know. Usually, the main point I hear people say is usually it's mainly because of the point where it's like, and I'm not saying this is the main point, but I'm saying it's one of the main points.
Huge.
What people usually say is because it was $100 more expensive and it was weaker.
Nobody knew how weak it was until it had already came out. Like they might have
Mm.
said something in the news, but I don't think anybody gave a fuck until it was completely weaker. Like every game was weaker. Every
Yeah,
game
that
was worse. Like
that's
it was
unacceptable.
not until the system was already in people's hand where people was like, "Oh, I don't like this shit. I gotta keep defending this as a fan. I gotta keep like trying to defend why this system costs $500 for me and it's fucking weaker." You know?
I guess it's cool to defend for your team, but I feel like at the same time, it's I don't know. I feel like it's more cooler for people to just sit down. Let's have a conversation, bro. Like, all right, there's pros here, there's cons here. Let's have a conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Uh huh.
Doesn't always have to be a
But
attack
we're
and
never
defense.
good. I mean, I would love to. Trust me, I love having conversations and
Facts.
seeing how people think. But you know, it's
Damn
hard to do
retarded.
that when you got individuals that are blind to the truth. They don't believe it unless it's coming from where they want it to come from, and where they want it to come from is not where the truth is. You know. So let's say today, right? I'm not shitting on these specs. They're specs. I mean, I'm not a fucking tech genius, so I could care less about the specs. I want to see how it's gonna work. You know. Prime example, right? So the way that I have my the live stream set up, right?
Hmm.
No, hold on, let me make sure everything's good here.
I think the specs are pretty respectable.
Yeah, but see, this is what I want to. I want to take a little bit of time out and just show you guys something. I'm making a real console world. Like the last one was, I kind of like half and half Nintendo, half new consoles. I just wanted to make a whole real console world, a console world world for dreams, and it seems like I'm able to do it. Um, I
JTech
didn't get,
loves debating, huh?
yeah, I didn't get that Sega shit. Oh, I would love to debate anybody right
Yeah,
now
I know. I
if
can
they
tell
had
you
the
love that
fucking
shit.
balls. But yeah, so long story short, you guys see my interface, right? Like I've done interface videos since the PS4 came out. I've never been afraid to let people know
JTech loves
the
debating, huh?
features of this system. You know, I've let people see themes. I've let people see, me going to different applications. And see, you can. I mean, nobody has bitched about the time. It's just it is what it is. But I'll be doing more comparisons because I'm gonna have the PS4 and I will have the PS5. I'll be able to time shit and see how fast things are. One thing I don't like about the Xbox community, not only do they not post gameplay of anything that comes out that's new, whether people go shit on it or praise it, we don't even see them go into their interface. Like, tell me when is the last time you saw Xbox fans say, "Hey, look at our interface. Our interface is better than theirs." Like, they really didn't successfully do anything on the part of a fan. Getting on Twitter, bitching, and saying, "Hey, we got specs and you don't." Like that's no, 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 no. And that's just at the end of the gen. We're talking about when Sunset Overdrive came out and it was proven that it wasn't even gonna be what 1080p or something, or so it was something like that. It wasn't gonna be 1080p and it had some weird fucking resolution. Okay, that for me personally, that's not enough for me to not buy the game and play the game and let people know how awesome the game is. As a fan, or as many fans, there wasn't enough for you guys to do that for a lot of games. You see people shitting on Dreams? Yeah, it got a critically acclaimed review scores. Um, it's sitting at an 89 now. It could be at a 90 anytime. It's sitting over top of 50 different reviews. Um, the sales are not good, but it is a $40 game. It's obviously a game with amazing replay value, more so than any other game in our history. It is, but it's not doing as good sales wise. Like I don't see it getting in a
Preach, Jay.
million before E3.
Preach.
But did that stop me from supporting the game? Did it stop me from playing the game? I've already got the platinum for the game. You see what I'm saying? Nothing anybody has said on the internet stopped me from playing this game and showing it off. You can say the game is shit all you want. Every fucking week, my ass is gonna be on Dream showing this shit off. That's just how I am. I think we're almost. I think we're good
You know,
here.
that is a good point, Jay. Jay, because I saw the like the interface for Xbox. Like I really tried it out. I honestly gave it a good try. That shit is confusing. Because I know you mentioned it a little earlier. That shit was confusing, bro.
Oh
I try to
yeah.
play it. I try to go on it on my sister because my sister has a PlayStation. Not a PlayStation, Xbox. My bad. My sister has an Xbox, and I try to use the interface on the Xbox. That shit was just mad confusing. I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Sculpture, character, contraption, music effect. No, it's gonna be a scene. Audio visuals, showcase, galleries and demos. Game.
If I had
I
that shit, I'd
think
go
this
crazy.
would probably be underneath the console war. I'm just gonna call it the console war. I'm gonna add some shit in here like a car and fucking shit like that. By the way, they got like a nice little Frostbite. I see you, buddy. Thanks for that super chat. Um, Frostbite slash says, Jay, read the last super chat I sent. Help a fallen brother be able to exercise greatness once again. Okay, hold on. Let me go see what's going on here.
He told me to set the HDCP mode. Thank you, Frostbite. I was about to tell you about that too, but I was just waiting for you to be done.
Okay,
With
you
that.
said, yo, Jay, tell that dude to put his PS4 into safe mode and disable HDCP. You can get there by the settings and then the system and restart you. You should try that, man. Like go through every fucking thing
I
before
did.
you send that system in. And
That
also, one thing I
that's
need
the
to
only.
let you know, man, your game saves will be wiped.
Oh yeah, they already are.
Yeah, so
It's cool.
if you don't have that shit on the cloud, then might it sucks a little bit, because I don't tell a lot of people this, but my PS3 fucked up. My PS3 Slim fucked up many years ago in the summertime. I was in the middle of so many games, BioShock, so many other third party multiplats on the PS3, and basically, it didn't do good for me, man. It didn't do good for me. And what happened was, when I got that shit back, it was fixed, and they returned the disc that was in it. It was Marvel Ultimate Alliance Part 2, and all my saves were gone. Like I even had Nino Kuni, the original Nino Kuni for the PS3, and I was almost finished beating that game. There was so many games I was almost either about to beat or completed. And bro, I could have had like even more trophies now, even more games completed now, maybe even some fucking additional platinums. But hey, bro, they wipe your fucking save data, and it sucks, bro, because you gotta start a lot of shit over. Um, but yeah, that's just a warning, man.
I'm just not trying to spend money on this bitch and then having to buy a PlayStation 5 like that costs 600. Like just doesn't make any sense, bro.
So when you send it in, are they gonna charge you?
Yeah, but well, if
So like
so,
how old is your PS4?
Oh, it's breaking up. What happened?
How old is your PS4?
It came out when the God of War came out because I got the God of War PlayStation.
Oh shit, yeah. So you're out of luck. Oh, because
Exactly.
I was thinking you could do the 1 year warranty depending if it was new.
Yo,
Yeah.
Velvet. The reason why I said it costs 600 is because even if it costs 500, there's gonna be tax to it. So if you sum everything up, and then I also might buy an extra controller, but if you sum everything up, give or take,
And a
regardless, even if
game.
it's 500,
Yeah,
yeah, and a game, yeah,
yeah.
regardless, even if I buy the system for 5, it's still gonna come up to 6 or more. Or if I buy it for 6, it'll come up to 6 or more. Like it doesn't, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that tax is a bitch, especially on things that cost like half a rack or a rack. There's a lot of taxes on those things.
Okay.
JTech.
Xbox One.
JTech, you should put a jingle on your channel.
No, I ain't doing all that shit yet. Xbox One. Let's see how we looking here. We looking good. Console war. Good shit. Let's release it. Release as playable, accessible or everyone, not editable by others. Nah, we gotta edit. We gotta make sure we edit this shit real quick. Let's go in the photo mode and go get a what up?
Oh, Spartan God asked something. He said, "Do y'all think the PlayStation 5 is matching the Xbox Series X?"
Match it for what? Price or power?
Um, the price is gonna be pretty much. I don't know. I don't really. I mean, personally, I don't care about the price because regardless, I'm gonna have to get that bitch. But yeah, that is a good question. Spartan, price or power? He said spec numbers. Oh no, he
Um.
said spec numbers and price.
Okay, so let me give you a little heads up, right? So, the rumored specs that I have, right, that came out um a while ago. Let me see if I still have it because I just tried to. There we go. There we go. So let me tell you. So the rumor specs was 11.8, right? For, teraflops for the
Mm-hmm.
Xbox Series X.
Mm-hmm.
And it got confirmed today that it's not 11.8, it's 12 total. I still believe these rumored specs and the leaked specs due to the fact that Microsoft will lie. So they will round that number up to 12, but it might not actually be 12. So we
To be,
won't know if it's solid fucking 12 until some people get their hands on it and can confirm it. You see what I'm
di-
saying? But
yep, Digital
Microsoft
Foundry.
has lied to people so many fucking times.
Yep.
So it's not something that I would say, hey, Microsoft's gonna tell us the truth. No information later on is gonna come out and say otherwise. This is another thing I want to say. They never said the world's most powerful console.
Yep.
So I want you guys to think about that. Today when they revealed the specs, not at one time did they say the world's most powerful console, the most powerful next generation console, most powerful console of any type. They have not said anything like that from December to February. So if you want to ask me, do I think the PS5 might be better than the Xbox? Yes, I do. Because Microsoft has people in the fucking industry. Everybody has spies, and Microsoft will fucking know before we do how powerful the PS5 is. So, um, the rumors weren't off. It's like I said, 11.8, and they came out today and rounded it off and said, "Hey, we're at 12." Um,
Hello. What's good, Adam?
I can hear you, Adam. But
Oh, cool.
then,
I
as
also
far
the
as the
backup.
PS5 side, it was rumored to be at 12.6. So I do
Mm-hmm.
believe that the PS5 teraflops will be a tad bit higher, but not by that much. But again, they said the same thing about this current generation. Remember, like in 2013, PS4, Xbox One, they had rumored like very, very similar spec numbers. But for whatever fucking crazy ass reason, games just were better on PS4. So if you go back, like they said that the architecture was gonna be very similar to each other, and then PS4 was still better. So I would tell people, let's wait and see what the numbers really are that Sony gives out, and then let's see what some of these comparisons are, for for hardware builds that I know Digital Foundry did. They have built a PC with the similar specs that are given out by these companies, and then they are run tests. I want to see shit like that. And then of course, once we get the consoles in our hands later this year, um, and the developers do, and we start to see comparisons of that caliber, then we really will know what the fuck's going on. But if an Xbox fan is gonna say, "Hey, today we just learned this is more powerful," your boy Phil Spencer didn't say that. Aaron Greenberg didn't say that. The official Xbox Twitter post did not say that.
Yeah,
Nobody,
they're under that.
nobody said it's the most powerful next generation console or the most powerful console. They have said it's the most powerful Xbox console, but they have not said it's the most powerful next generation console or the most powerful console. Be careful. Be careful. Let's take this picture real quick. This gonna be the little thumbnail. Let's get the fuck out of here. Yeah, this is the one we want.
A lot of things that came out today. Just chime on this, Jay.
Turn your mic up, Adam, or your foot is gonna bleed.
I mean my mic up.
Oh, okay. Just turn it up 85%.
You mean, are you joking with me, or are you just
No, you're a tad bit low, just a tad bit.
You know how I blame for that? I blame Adam.
Yeah, I blame Adam for that shit too. Blame him.
Inputs, outputs. The fuck? Input, output.
Adam's funny as shit, low key.
Did we get it right? No, we didn't get that shit right. You fucking bitch.
Input.
No, you fucking idiot.
Input, output.
Keep talking, Adam. We almost there. Color.
Is it still low now?
Yeah, you good. You was always clear. It's just you was a little low.
Alright. Yeah, no, so about what came out today, from the respect for where I stand on it is, again, with all the sources and leaks and rumors that we've had coming up to today, a lot of them lean towards the specs that we got today. So like, what we've got in numbers, right? So obviously 12. I never really disputed it being a sense of not being true. I knew that would be the case, which it was confirmed. Obviously, there's still lots of things to be yet confirmed. One of the things that was kind of mentioned, but not a lot of people are kind of chiming in on it, is the sense of the smart thing that they're doing, which theoretically, within the article, it states that all Xbox exclusive games and studios basically are going to be doing this, but based on publications, the only one that's confirmed it is CD Projekt Red. So it is more to do with the sense of, will Ubisoft, will EA, will Activision want to be a part of this? And as we all know, these guys, they wouldn't want you to buy another full price version of their game, but they will try to squeeze as much money out of you as possible.
Yeah, and right there, that's kind of fucked up now that I think about it. I got all these trophy creators.
And obviously, I mean, on top of that, with this this smart purchase thing, what they're doing, right, it technically is backwards compatibility. That's pretty much what it is. It's just there's a little bit more of an. It's just kind of like we've been talking about this like for the past few weeks, right? Which is, what is it? Like free updates or a free patch which allows us to have increased frames and pixels. That's pretty much what that is. Theoretically. So we're like, okay, cool. The one thing now that obviously looking at that is when PlayStation reveal the PS5, I'm going to say this right now, fundamentally, they need to be incorporating the same fucking thing as them.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's backwards compatibility or whether it's something similar to this, obviously, I don't see people minding spending a little bit more to get the upgrade of whatever it may be, but it would be good on their part, Sony's part, if they were to do what Xbox,
you know
mentioned
what,
today.
bro? Even like I hate this thing because Microsoft announced it first, so hey, Sony do the same thing. Then if they do the same thing, hey, we're copying. But I've been talking about this for a long time, Adam. You know, like I was saying, bro, like I don't mind getting this game on this current gen system because obviously the new gen systems, by default, they're gonna run them better anyway. Even without an official patch, it should run them better.
Yeah, I mean, talking about this as well, right? It kind of theoretically, a lot of people have been saying, right? It kind of makes a little bit more. I mean, not the complete sense of why they delayed it, but a little bit more of a sense as to why Cyberpunk delayed their game. Because obviously, yes, they needed probably a bit more time to work on the game, but also theoretically, it might also be because Xbox were asking them, "Is there any chance, like, we could do something here?" And probably, I wouldn't say Xbox would have been the main reason for it. So I feel like PlayStation also the reason why. Until again, it's kind of like a waiting situation because obviously, I'm guessing you've seen on Twitter already, like a lot of people on Xbox's end are saying that Sony's fucked. Why are Sony so quiet? And it kind of dwells down to that sense of like I'm in the boat of if Sony were worried or if Sony were in a bad predicament, like they would be very interactive, right, with them looking maybe in a bad stand. But the fact that they ain't budging. Even though this has come out, they're not budging. I'm like, Sony must be in some good way. Like, they must be feeling good about themselves and they're not hesitant to come out and talk about their, their hardware.
It's kind of, it's a new generation. It's a little weird for Microsoft to come out the way that they did because this is Sony's style. Let's be honest. Like, Sony did actually come out and talk about the specs already, but not to this degree. But like J-Dub was saying on Twitter, like we already knew that the Xbox was gonna have 12 teraflops. We don't know what PlayStation's gonna have. The rumor changes every so often. Like I heard rumors after the confirmation that it was already gonna have 12 teraflops, and this was in December, was that it was gonna have 13, and then PlayStation was gonna have only 8 teraflops.
Yeah, I saw a dealer trying to. I mean, he posted up, today, obviously when the thing dropped that. I told you guys, December 9th, he had a screen grab of his video on December 9th when he put out saying, I told you guys ages ago this was going to be the specs, so on and so forth. And I replied to him, like, like, theoretically I said, you weren't the first one to leak these specs. To be honest, I remember going back as far as probably like August, July, when I started hearing, how many teraflops that could be, and also PS5 could be, and people were talking about 13, 12, 10.
I heard something before we went live saying that you can't do more than 14 teraflops. Is that true? Or the PC or something, or the I don't know, something like that.
I don't know.
Like, I don't know what the top teraflops is. I don't know if there's a limit on it. I don't think PlayStation gonna be anywhere close to 13, but it might be higher than a standard 12.
It'll be either 12 or 11 or 10. It'll be either 30, it'll be either 12 or 10 from PlayStation's end. But yeah, earlier on today, which again, obviously people are focusing on a lot of the thing that I liked from what was mentioned on the Xbox Series X wasn't to do with the hardware aspect. It was more to do with the features and the software, just the underbelly of it all. Not the teraflops, not anything like that, sort of like the smart buy thing. Obviously the frames was a big thing as well. The refresh rate was another thing. And there was a couple of others. But obviously a lot of people talking about Sony Silence, right? And Shinobi 602 is his name, right? I retweeted his tweet, right, and liked it because he actually spoke a lot of truth in the sense of
I saw it. Yeah,
like,
I saw that shit.
What people fail to bring up, and that is theoretical. And he said theoretical issues aside, Sony and Microsoft aren't in the same position going into next gen. PlayStation is a market leader. The brand is a global powerhouse. It's necessary for Xbox to be more vocal / steer focus on them now, and that's absolutely fucking true. Because I've said this in your podcast numerous times, right, or in the podcast that theoretically, PlayStation if they wanted to, they could come out next year with their PS5 in 2021. Like the fall of 2021, they could release their console, right? If they wanted to. But the thing is that because kind of Xbox, as we know over the course of this generation, right, they've kind of shifted from one thing to another. They tried multiple things out that have at first worked, but haven't given them the numbers that they want. They've gone on to the Series A, the Xbox X, and then the Game Pass and their backwards compatibility, or backwards compatibility, then Game Pass and Xbox One X, and then they've gone on to Series X to kind of like reinvigorate people and be like, okay, we'll bring out a brand new console. It's a new generation. We're going to refresh this whole thing, and that's great. That's fine, but like, based on where Sony stand and where Microsoft stand, or Xbox and PlayStation stand, it's two different areas. Like we're talking about a console that was 53 million units compared to one that's 107 and still going, and it's going to climb even further with Final Fantasy, Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and some others within the wind. So yeah, obviously, another thing is as well that we still don't know if these consoles will be coming out this year. Because again, the one thing that isn't being mentioned is, will this virus and other things be a part of this? And the answer to it is no. Like it. So far, there's nothing about it being delayed on both ends. If they were, I would expect the consoles to come out and talk about it. But if they were to, at the latest, would be at the reveal events. I think the reveal events will be where they'll probably talk about it if they had to. But yeah, man, like, I mean, I've been looking at some people's opinions on what's happening, and I'm like, everyone's got the right to be happy about what they've seen from Xbox, undoubtedly, and to be honest, they need like this sort of shit. They really do, because as we all know, they got clapped this whole generation. They need some, they need some new like life, But yeah, I mean, hell, like yesterday, right before I went to bed, I posted up. I went on trending now on the trending page, and I went to the PlayStation section and the Xbox section. And I screen grabbed both, like two pages of PlayStation and 2 pages of Xbox, and I said it's basically a sense of spot the difference, right? With PlayStation, you see people taking pictures in photo mode, talking about the video, like games that they're playing, right? Whereas Xbox, they're talking about, one's talking about codes, dealer with Xbox, X hardware, online, those sort of things, and it's like it speaks volume as to what PlayStation are concentrating on as a fan base, but also what Xbox are concentrating on as a fan base.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Here's what it is, mate. Wait a minute.
For war. I definitely gotta put that one thing in this level that'll make Adam happy. Okay, what's going on here? That motherfucker is a lot. No, it's really not. Oh shit. I thought that was gonna be a lot. It's not actually a lot. It's not a lot. Yeah, that's only like 5. Okay, not bad.
Yeah. Right. I watch when I go to bed before I go to bed.
There you go, you motherfucker.
Yeah, but I feel like, you know, I woke up to the news today, I was like, damn, like, what the fuck happened? Like, and it's like, alright, they've gone and released the specs, so I thought there was the whole shebang, but it's, again, it's not the whole shebang, it's, well, it's like, it's exactly like what PlayStation have done with the two Wired articles. They've discussed their specs to a certain degree, but not completely, and it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah, and you know, the Xbox fans don't understand that at all. I mean, look, I don't want to keep calling them stupid, but they do seem very, very stupid. Um, because Sony did this shit last year, didn't they?
Yeah.
They had the Wired
Yeah,
article.
yeah. It's just, again, it's two different ways of them doing it, isn't it? So, like, you know, they did it for a Wired article. They've done it for an official thing. So people, I would say, are definitely treating it differently because it's their official thing. Whereas PlayStation haven't really done it on their official sort of aspects. But they obviously, you know, the last time they spoke of PS5 was at CES with the logo and some other, you know, recap on some things.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. It's just It's one of these. It's one of these things, really. To be honest, you know, I think yeah. I mean, I've read I've read the official statement of what they're doing. I saw Digital Foundry posted a video of it, which
Oh yeah.
yeah, they did a video of it.
I'm
But I
waiting to
have
see if they can build like a PC with those specs. But again, we only know a little bit of stuff. We still don't know the complete specs of every
they
little thing, you know.
yeah, so they're direct. So Digital Foundry direct. Xbox Series X, 12 teraflops, RDNA 2.0 confirmed. Which obviously those are the main things that have been theoretically confirmed for that.
So
Which is
let's say Sony does want to talk, reveal any bit of information, teaser, anything before May, right? When would they do it?
Yo, my bad to interrupt. I'll be right back, y'all. I gotta go.
Okay.
All
When
right.
would they?
You have a good one.
When would they do that, Adam? When do you think they would do that?
March, April. If they were to, I would say March, but they, again, they,
Wait
like
up. Oh, you mean next month? Okay.
I would say yeah March. But the thing is that like the problem is now is that they backed out of GDC. Now, obviously, I don't know what they had planned for GDC. Like theoretically, on PlayStation's end. I mean, they could. I mean, if they wanted to, they could do their own little thing if they wanted to, or bring out their own little article and just do what Xbox have done, confirm a little bit more. But for me, and this goes the same way with Xbox, I feel like both of them should just wait until they're going to go for those big reveals, which will be, like I said, I think May will be
Do you think there will
PlayStation.
be any reason for Microsoft to say we're not safe going to E3. We don't want to go to E3. Like, do you
Well,
think at
I
any
mean,
point they're gonna be like, okay, E3 is off. I'm looking at my own foot.
I mean, the thing is, people joke about these things about E3, but theoretically, it could happen if the whole virus situation is still around.
Wow, bro,
Theoretically,
they
it could
really are
impact.
making fucking Animal Crossing in dreams. I heard about this project, but that's fucking crazy. I think his name is Suspended Spirit. Let me go see. I think Suspended Spirit is the one making Animal Crossing. I could be wrong because it looks like he hasn't made shit for a long time. But he did make this dope ass fucking Fox art. Oh, look at that fucking Star Fox Arwing. Oh, that
Yeah, I
brings
think
back some
so.
fucking memories right there. That's fucking dope.
I think based on I'll probably say because a few people were talking about this actually. Funny enough, like when we would get like. Because if you read the Xbox thing, right, he says leading up, they're going to be sharing more information leading up to E3. Now, I don't think they're going to do another thing, like an actual reveal before E3, but theoretically, I think they'll do something like what they did today, where they confirm maybe another game that's going to be a part of the smart purchase fucking thing they're doing.
Okay.
Maybe
that would definitely be like what, Halo? Oh, we talking about smart purchase, like so that would have to be a game that comes out before the new console.
Yeah, basically that's what they're doing. Again, like,
but I mean, they trying to like take credit off of shit that's obviously nobody should charge money for.
It's a different. What they've gone and done is they've gone and labeled it differently in a more fancier term. It's a lot of things. If you read the article, right, a lot of people are like, isn't that, it's like it's like this suspend and resume a feature, right? Everyone's like, oh, that's really cool. Theoretically, yes, it is. It is very cool, but that is pretty much what you can do on your fucking mobile phones, right? You got all the tabbed applications, and you can close them. But the thing is, right, if you were to open up a shit ton of tabs on your phone, it slows your phone down. So I'm not saying that people would theoretically have like a shit ton of games open, because you would think that you would close them, from time to time, or keep certain ones open. But yeah, like a lot of things people are not talking about. One of the other things as well, which someone mentioned and I mentioned, was again like the power situation is great for them. Of course it is, but theoretically, there's a few reasons that should be brought up. Which is one, what are you? Somebody said as well as me, what are you doing with the cooling system? What are you doing based on the ventilation of the system?
Bro, that's why I'm glad you're here, and I'm hungry, so I gotta make even more food because I haven't really ate today. But the reason why I'm glad you're here is because you asked the right questions. They did not specify anything when it came to fans.
Nope.
Today. That's something you should really worry about.
I mean, obviously, here's the thing, right? We've seen the prototype version of the console, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not saying that's a final aspect of the console, because obviously shit can change. Maybe there is additional fans on the top half of the back of the console. But right now, all we know is based on ventilation of that system is on the top. That's what we see, right? Whereas comparing it to the old Xbox One, right, where half of the system on top had a whole big vent, which was okay, but it could have been better. And then with PlayStation, it was more like a thruster engine at the back of the system, which again, I mean, let me have a look. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, the back of my PlayStation 4. Like, it doesn't look bad. The ventilation on the PS4 looks good, but obviously, me saying that now, it takes off like a fucking jet engine. Like, obviously not, But again, that's to do with
Dreams is another game that makes that shit like really, really fucking loud.
Again, that's also to do with the sense of the what's it called again? The adhesive fucking getting undone and other things within the console, and which can play into effect, as well as it just So yeah, there's a few things, man. Like again, I don't expect them to. I mean, they're giving their fan base a lot of information, but those are the things that I want to know about, because we've in past histories, as we all know, we have seen Xbox, and PlayStation both fuck up on ventilation of their system. So yeah, I think yeah, man. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how this all comes down to theoretically what the official back of the console looks like. But I mean, I would expect them to make sure that they don't fuck up on that end, because that's the thing that obviously that has bitten them in the arse in the past. Yeah. Oh, you're streaming. No, let me go on your stream. Let me see what you're, see if anyone's talking, questions.
Yeah, do that, because I'm about to go fix some food that I got yesterday.
Yeah. Alright, here we go. So, alright, I'm on the thing. Okay, look, does Jay, alright, so yeah, let's start with this one. Does Jay really think Microsoft will try ship a console without antiquity, ventilation, and risk being sued?
Oh, I don't think that. I'm just saying they
No,
gave
no.
off some important specs today, and one of the important specs wasn't listed. Like, and I'm expecting Sony when they talk more about their system, I expect them to talk about their fans,
Yeah.
how quiet it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Adam has said multiple times. Adam has
Again, like,
said multiple times
I
that
mean,
the fan for the Xbox One X is very, very quiet. But
yeah,
I'm
it is,
just
yeah.
saying we want to be reassured, right, that the fan is still quiet on a more powerful system that's going to be doing a lot more. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Nobody's saying that it's not. Nobody's
Yeah.
saying that it's not there. Nobody's saying that they have a shitty fan. I'm just saying
No.
that is the
Because
one thing that they
it's
didn't
the same
talk about
people.
today. So
It's the same people that did the architecture for the X. It's the same people that are doing it for the S. So theoretically, they should have that all, all sorted, right? They just should. So, it's just one of these things that obviously, if you're a person wanting to go and buy a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X, you want to know about these things, and obviously they will do, leading up to E3 or whenever they do like a full thing. But yeah, I'm hoping I'm speaking on everyone's behalf that you don't want to buy an Xbox Series X and then it conks out within the first month. No one wants that apart their consoles. So it's just one of those things. It's in the back of everyone's mind. People are talking about on Twitter. And so it's a reasonable explanation to be brought up. So look, yeah, okay.
okay, hold on. So look, guys, if you don't want to be in the comment section, if you don't like what I'm saying, if you don't like the content, you don't have to stay. Like, I'm just letting you guys know. I'm off today. I'm off of work today. So I'm just chilling and talking about whatever the main shit is today. I don't normally do this every day, not on a Monday.
Yeah, why are you
But
thinking that?
yeah, it's kind of weird that you saying what is it? You said I'm crazy. No, I'm not crazy. I'm just listing out one of the details they didn't list today. And one of the details was the fan. Like, hey, the fan is quiet and you won't hear any fan. Like, that would be nice to put on the little checklist that we got today, but they didn't do that. So, you know.
I mean, again, the main thing that I've been hearing from loads of different people within the industry, hierarchies of the industry, like Matt Piscatella, is big factor, which is content over power. And this always gets, when Xbox talk about the next gen console, that is always the narrative from a Nintendo standpoint, a PlayStation standpoint, because no one has disputed that they haven't got power. They have got power, especially with the X right now. But the thing that they lack is definitely fucking content. And I mean, like, first-party content. I'm not talking about Game Pass. I'm talking about actual content in which people will invest in buying an Xbox. Begin buying into the ecosystem, as we theoretically you talk about right now. Because again, like, I talk to a lot of Xbox fans. They bring up Game Pass for a reason. And I can understand why, but theoretically, the content of, like, it's like a different sort of transparency of content compared to, like, what you might get from a PlayStation's mentality standpoint. Yeah. It's over the course of this generation, how many games has PlayStation gotten that theoretically people have wanted from other platforms or have come over to PlayStation to yet play. It's quite a substantial amount, and obviously we can see that through the sales units of the PlayStation itself. So
Yeah, Final Fantasy is the next huge game that's gonna
Mm-hmm.
make people buy a system, even if
Mm-hmm.
this new console is coming out at the end of the year. Like people are still gonna buy this system.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Let's see what this
I mean,
is.
again, like, you know, I'm gonna reiterate on this as well. Like, when I read the Xbox, you know, the official thing, right? The things that impressed me the most wasn't anything to do with the power. Like, the power to me is, I mean, this is where I come into well, this is my own opinion, like, but I think it's redundant compared to what they spoke about in the later halves of their own article, which was the resume and play. Obviously, Game Pass being a factor of it, but I mean, not even that. Obviously, the new it's obviously a different word of play of backwards compatibility. You know, where you can upgrade your stuff for free. Um, Refresh rate, you know, frames, those sort of things, you know, and also the HDMI 2.1, you know, like those sort of things that I'm interested in, you know, hearing from Xbox, but also PlayStation. Because again, like, you know, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out, I'm trying to remember, like, every console that's come out. Like, I think every console that has been more powerful than its opposition haven't done nearly as well, apart from PS4 and the Xbox One, which, again, very slightly different, a little tiny difference on power, because of, you know, the whole 720 1080 thing that everyone gave, you know, Xbox shit for. But you know, you look at it now, Xbox Series, you know, Xbox One X is the more powerful console right now, right? And you know, we've seen Red Dead Redemption, we've seen other games that have incorporated the whole 4K HDR aspects, and some games can give you what you want, but some, like Red Dead Redemption 2, had some problems with HDR, because I remember when that came out. You know, but again, like I said, it's all to do with power. You know, what do you care about? Do you care about the power of these consoles, or do you care about the content in which you're getting? Because I think a lot of people would be leaning more towards content than anything else. But yeah, bring the table that PC and Xbox haven't already. UK dude, is too loud. For fuck's sake, Jay told. Yeah, sorry, Valve. Jay told me my fucking mic was not loud. Well, sorry, it was quiet. Give me a minute, mate. Put it down here. Just tell me if it's better. Handful of exclusives is great and all, but I don't see it being a lasting tactic. Yeah, Jessica JSK. I mean, you're in some retrospect, you're right. You are right. But also, I mean, it's kind of like right and wrong. So, for instance, it depends. Like, see how to put this. I don't know if you're here earlier on, but I was talking about how both Xbox and PlayStation have been transition. The transition between Xbox and PlayStation have been different this time around. You know, because one thing, like, people fail to, like, you know, mention with today's news, and again, a lot of people are asking why PlayStation are being so quiet. They're wondering why PlayStation are not, you know, sort of answering the call of, like, you know, what are you gonna do? And for PlayStation, the reason why is because, you know, they don't technically need to, like, theoretically, they don't need to be bringing out a PS5 console, you know, this year. They could have, if they wanted to, they could bring out the PS5 next year. Because, you know, again, we're looking at, you know, a console that's at, what, 53, 54 million to a console that's 107 million, right? And based on the content that they still have leading up to the end of this year, it's quite, you know, substantial to the extent where it can hold them off. And obviously, but like the beginning of next year, I can obviously see, like, maybe the sense of, like, when they might need a console, because, you know, after Tsushima, sorry, they haven't got any more exclusives, right? it's clear that they are looking towards their next gen. That's the point I wanted to make. Well, again, like, wait a minute. Value for price with the more appealing launch titles will be a major factor. Which console will succeed on launch date? So, guys, yeah, you see, because you see, that's the thing. You see, like, Xbox right now, their console is theoretically, I would expect it to be more powerful than the PS5. But that all comes down to narrowing of the price, and I see a lot of people saying that it might cost.
Still talking.
Yeah, I'm talking.
No, keep talking, bro. Keep talking.
No, yeah. So basically, like, I see a lot of people talking the aspect of the Series X being the same price as theoretically the PS5, which is $500, right? Now, if they are very close in spec-wise, I'll agree. But right now, because we all know that there's going to be a Series S and a Series X, I don't see that being the narrative. I think the Series S will be $400, and I think the Series X will be $600. You may think I'm crazy for saying that, but because they have because Xbox are not treating the next generation as a traditional aspect of how you release a console, they're more invested in you as a consumer to be invited into their ecosystem wherever you get a Series X, a Series S, or you stick with your Xbox One X until what they've already mentioned, until 2 years later, where they start to support the Series X more and more as it goes on. So for me, I see Microsoft playing that game of giving you options. If you want to go for the premium aspect, you go for that 600. If you want the lower aspect, you go for the 400. So, and obviously with PlayStation 5, they've only got one console because they want to keep the messaging very simple and very clear. When you're going to a store, you want to buy a PlayStation 5, and whatever the message they're delivering up until, the point when they reveal it to when it's launch, they want to make sure that's clear for consumers to go in there, buy that console, and be, ready for whatever comes next. So, yeah, I mean, that is what it comes down to. A lot of people are, again, like, the price. I understand it being a big deal, but also it not being the full picture. But yeah, like, well, pretty much we'll have to wait and see on that notion, I feel like. But I think, 300 from then 300. 300, we want 300. What? If you're talking to me, Jessica, I didn't say 300, I said 400. So the 400 will be the Series S, and then the 600 will be the Series X. If you're talking to me anyway, I don't know if that was me. I feel Sony needs to show something. I know both are not in the same situation, but people are getting a bit angsty with PlayStation's lack of info. What do you think? MS is looking confident. Again, here's how it goes down. Microsoft needs what they're doing right now. They needed to do this. They definitely needed to do this because as we've seen this whole generation, painting a picture for everyone, and whether you like it or not, they have been beaten to the ground relentlessly this whole generation. Wherever they've brought up a couple of things that have given a positive energy for a small spectacle of of a bit, and then PlayStation come in with something else and it completely ruins their momentum. This is what I expect Xbox to be doing. I expect them to be stirring the pot, being vocal, being transparent, which is basically what they've taken a massive page out of PlayStation 4's book. When they revealed the PS4, they were vocal with the devs, and the devs were vocal with us and all these other things, right? And I expected, I said to a lot of people, I want Microsoft to do exactly that, and they're doing they're doing just that, which I appreciate, them with the transparency and being vocal. But with that being said, like I mentioned earlier on, the reason why PlayStation are not being as vocal is because they're in two different timelines as one another. Like I said, PlayStation, if they wanted to, they don't have to release a console this year. They can theoretically release one next year. Because again, the units are selling still, and they can definitely still sell a shit ton more. But, obviously some people say, no, that's wrong, that can't be the case. No, it can. It definitely can be the case. But, again, like, Xbox, they brought out the backwards compatibility thing, right? And, at first everyone liked what they were hearing, but it wasn't, like, a big enough thing to keep you, like, happy, right? Then they did the Game Pass, right? Which took a bit of time to get up on its feet to what it is now. But again, it didn't stimulate as much as what they wanted. Then they brought in, Project Scorpio, which was then Xbox One X. Again, they delivered that console. Did it sell nearly as much as what they expected? No. But again, like they've been pushing and pushing and pushing to try and taking these individual steps to see what is going to entice fans into their ecosystem. And each individual thing that I've mentioned has enticed people, but not nearly as much as they want. And with the Series X, this is basically them going, fuck it, we're going next gen. Because they have nothing to lose in this sense, right? They know they've already mentioned this, that they chalked up this generation as a loss, or whatever you want to call it. So, they it's kind of like the way I picture it. The way I picture it, and I hope some people agree with me, is kind of like what the original Xbox did with the 360, right? It came out when PS2 was out. It couldn't do the numbers that it could, and they went, fuck it, let's go next gen, get ahead of PlayStation, and guess what happened? They did really well. They got ahead of PlayStation. They sold a shit ton of 360s. It was a very popular console in North America, Europe, England, wherever. And they did well. And obviously PlayStation shot themselves in the foot with the, cell processor and the overprice on their console. And then, we go into this generation, it's a completely different narrative. It's kind of like a bad juju sort of vibe, where PlayStation gave their arrogance off, then they passed it to Microsoft with the One, and they had arrogance. Now, is it going to be another thing? I don't know. Honestly, I'd focus more on the games, cast the biggest possible net.
Those next gen games that they're going to be working on, obviously they're gonna have to be available 2 years from now, which isn't bad. I'd rather them take their time than anything, but it sucks that you sucked so bad. You sucked so bad this gen that you even had to announce that. Like, you should have been on the ball for next gen. Like, people can't sit up here and say, hey, they're gonna fix everything next gen. No, their failures this gen.
Well, no,
their failures this gen really, in some way, shape, or form, are impacting what they're doing next gen. Because some of these big games, if they would have acquired these studios earlier, which I believe they should have been acquiring studios since the 360 era, I think they would have had games, big titles, ready for launch. We know you gotta have Halo, okay, right? Halo is just obvious. Whether it's a launch title or it's coming in the middle of the gen. We know you're having Halo. Me, personally, I'm not excited about that, but I'm excited about that Fable rebranding, remake, whatever you want to call it. I'm excited about all of that. Like, I can't wait for the different shit besides Halo and Forza and Gears. That's what I want from Xbox. Like, anything besides the normal. Like, give me something different. As a gamer. Fable was what made me interested so much in to Xbox for me to have one and keep it. What the fuck is this? Goblin Slayer RPG demo.
I think it's Microsoft's working on their mistakes. I mean, yeah. So, like, when it comes down to Xbox, all the steps they've taken, that like I said, backwards compatibility, Game Pass. Again, they haven't been big enough to increase the sale of their consoles, right? But theoretically, they have been positive steps towards what they're going to be doing next gen. That's evident. I can't say that isn't evident. Obviously, talking about Game Pass, and a lot of people bring up Game Pass when it comes to Xbox, and I understand that, again, amazing value for consumer. And if I'm not mistaken, you've got a deal on that what's it called again, on that service, but after a while you have to pay what, $14 or something like that, or if you get
okay, so Jessica JSK, you're saying that they went from being a joke to being a really good choice. I'm a gamer, right? I don't see anything good over there. Me as a gamer, me going from this ecosystem to that ecosystem, if you're telling me they're a good choice, I will be over there, right? Do I want to go back to Nintendo? Yes, I do. I let people know that all the fucking time. There are a few things I need them to fix, and I'm gonna be right over there. I'm telling you. But Xbox, I don't think it's any. I don't think it's anything that they're doing right now that I could say, hey, this is a good choice. Let me go over there. I know that they'll have my back as a gamer. They give me the games that I need as a gamer, right? I only wish I could say that and believe it, but they don't. What? Game Pass? I should go buy an Xbox for Game Pass. Is that what you're saying? For a good choice for the consumer? Let me go get Game Pass and buy Xbox One because of that service. I'm talking about games. I'm a gamer. I like playing video games.
Yeah.
I don't care about the fucking specs. I don't care about the services. I want to know what games they have to offer me. I wonder if this is that.
See, again, like I think somebody mentioned it in the chat. Like, Game Pass services, again, that's what Microsoft are leaning towards. Again, I spoke about this before. Microsoft, sorry, not Microsoft. No, let's just, I keep saying Microsoft, but the thing is, they are owned by Microsoft. Xbox are treating, they've already come out and said this. Xbox, the way that they've been reinventing the aspects of the Xbox division has been more of an aspect of an ecosystem, but an evergreen system, which is kind of like mobile phones, right? Every year you get a brand new iPhone, a brand new Samsung, Google phone, and they're focusing on not so much as to people buying the Series X. They're more invested in the sense of they want you to buy something that's Xbox related, wherever it's Game Pass on a PC, on your Xbox, or an Xbox One X, an Xbox One, Series S, or Series X. They want to make sure that you're buying into things. Again, as we've seen over this generation, they have not been communicating their numbers, right? But they've been wanting to communicate their users more. And they've been vocal about that as well. Like, they focus on the users more than the sales aspects. Like, Gears of War 5, when it came out, when people found out what the sales were for Gears 5, not a lot of people were happy about that. A lot of people were happy. And I was in one of them because, understandably, yes, it was on Game Pass. But, when it comes down to these studios, they spend hundreds of millions of dollars to make these games. And theoretically, Game Pass, I don't know if that.
I mean, look, let me put it this way. If I really want to be like honest, the service of Game Pass is very interesting. You pay one set price, and even if let's say it goes to $15 a month, still good because you have access to tons of games, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just like a couple people in the comment section said, hey, what is it? You got crossplay on PC, so that means people want to go and build a PC. Hey, if that's what you think, then that's what you think. Then at that point in time, what's the point of buying an Xbox if their more valuable service isn't only on their platform? You don't need an Xbox piece of hardware to use Game Pass, and you don't even need an Xbox to play their exclusives. So again, you might think that their service is very consumer friendly, which I can agree. you pay a price and you play all the games you want. But do you really need that system if you're claiming that everybody's going the way of building a gaming PC because it's even better than consoles? Now, PlayStation has exclusives. Nintendo has exclusives. There's a reason. Outside of the features, outside of the shape of them to go backwards from what they are doing now. They are never going to have exclusives again that are only tailor-made for their hardware. Their games will always be across different platforms. And that's not a bad thing, but if you're telling me, hey, they went from a joke to being a good choice, okay, again, what about the hardware is a good choice if I don't need the hardware? As a gamer, I don't need the hardware. Either I can invest in a more powerful laptop and play some of their games, or start building a desktop, or have somebody build a desktop for me and be able to play all their games come December.
Just by the way, let me just step in there. By the way, Jessica JSK, when you
I don't
say,
own a Switch. No, I do not own a Switch. Do I really want one? Yes.
You mentioned the aspects of obviously sales of consoles are at a loss, right? Now, here's the thing about that, right? Everyone knows that consoles sell at a loss initially, right? But the thing is, with the PS4 was what? What was it, Jay, when it came out? Was it $400? Right? And they could have sold that console at $381. They profited from that console for, I think it was like $19 per console. So that is theoretically wrong. Obviously, normally they do take loss of consoles, right? And obviously,
yes,
games.
The PS3 was a loss.
Yeah, games and services do make the most of the profit, right? But with the PS4, that wasn't the case. Now, that only applies to consoles for the first 2 to maybe 2.5 years. And then after that, the consoles start to profit gradually. So I wouldn't completely agree with you on that, but I do understand where you're coming from. I do understand. Yeah, like I do understand the aspect that the games definitely give more of a profit than the consoles, because obviously you're selling more. Plus, a game is $60. Maybe it might go up. That's another thing. Like, will games go up in price next gen? We don't know, but I don't think they will right now anyway. But yeah, so when it comes down to the PS4, they've been profiting roughly around, I think it's $19 per unit. And obviously that's only gotten better and better and better as the years have gone on, with obviously PlayStation Plus being, us having to pay for PlayStation Plus. And obviously PlayStation Plus, I don't know if people agree with this, but PlayStation Plus has been a great value for gamers on PlayStation, because you get, initially you was getting 2 free games with maybe a PS3 game and a Vita game, which then got fundamentally turned into 2 PlayStation 4 games, and now 2 PlayStation 4 games or PSVR game. But then on top of that, you've got discounts that you get every week,
yeah,
and then special ones every month.
You can pick a couple different months, or like 1 month of games that they've given away to us, and just say, hey, that gave us the value back for $60. Like the collections we just got back to back. We got the Uncharted collection, and then the month after that we got the BioShock collection.
If I'm not mistaken, so I remember somebody doing the numbers on this. Somebody said that roughly, if you buy a year subscription on Plus, you roughly save £140. Sorry, 140. No, it was £140, but I don't know what it is in dollars every year. Which is, I added it up, and that is absolutely fucking true. Like
you save a lot of fucking money, yeah.
I think it was last year. It was up until, I think it was from January 2018 to January 2019. Or February 2019, I think it was, something like that. I probably downloaded roughly around, 7, 8 free-to-play games, and then spent roughly maybe around £60 to £70 on, I think it was 5 to 7 games on discounts. So, it's great. It's absolutely brilliant. And again, a lot of people don't see that, because I think a lot of people focus. Again, some people make comparisons with Xbox, the services of Xbox, but even then, with they got games for gold, which aren't necessarily great. Let's be honest. but what they bring out for Games of Gold isn't nearly as good as what they do for Game Pass.
Yeah, see, that's why me personally, I don't see why fucking Games of Gold even exist anymore when you have something like Game Pass.
Yeah.
You know.
I think obviously Future Element you mentioned. I just saw you that thing there. So that you mean you sell more games than consoles? Like, yeah, you do sell more games than consoles, don't we? Like, because obviously, well, I don't know. Would I be right to say every PlayStation exclusive that's come out, probably has done nearly the same amount of numbers as what PlayStation 4 consoles have sold? I mean, we got a couple of exclusive games that roughly are nearly like 20 million. Maybe one of them that's over 20 million, and then most of them have gone over 10 million, apart from maybe like 4 or 5, like 4 or 3 or 4. I don't know. I'm trying to remember, but like, theoretically, it's near the 100 million mark. Maybe not nearly as much, but I don't know. I'll have to have a look at that. But yeah, I think the bottom line of this whole aspect of like, Xbox Series X and what they've released today, it's basically what PlayStation have done already with the Wired articles. It's just they've done it officially through their own page, and Xbox, that's Xbox, and PlayStation have done it through Wired. Again, both approaches have not been the normal approach as to what you would do for a console, because normally they would do like an event to unveil these sort of things. Other than what they've done now, again, I speak about the aspects of traditional, how you deliver on a console traditionally to how you deliver a console untraditional, like an untraditional aspect of it. And both Xbox and PlayStation are sort of doing it differently. And again, like, I don't want Xbox and I do not want PlayStation to be literally doing the same shit as one another, apart from, like, making sure that people that have owned a PlayStation and an Xbox can go on to next-gen consoles without having their hands tied behind their back. Like, for instance, you can bring your Xbox controllers and your games over to the next Xbox, basically your library. And then with the PlayStation, I hope that they do the same thing with what Xbox talked about today, which is basically a free update or a patch for, the like Cyberpunk and Last of Us and Ghost. Like, because if they don't do that, I think a lot of people will definitely be pointing fingers at that. And, well, if they do it, but you have to pay like $5 or £5, I think people will give them heat for it. But I mean, I can see that being okay still, because they did it in this generation, which, it seems okay. But I would like them just to do just the whole shebang is like, back compatible, it's free, keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
I don't really see that as a big issue.
Yeah, PlayStation need to do that. PlayStation need.
Yeah, I don't see that as a big issue. I don't know why.
We're talking. This is the thing about this. This is the thing about talking next gen stuff, right? We're getting little drips and drabs of what we assume to be getting, right? But theoretically, when they fully release these consoles, like they announce them, it could be a completely different landscape as to what we're looking at right now. Like, PlayStation could have revealed their console at the same sort of specs of the Xbox, with the games that we didn't expect them to be putting out, but they have them all lined up. And then with Xbox, they could have that powerful console, be relying on the third party aspect with obviously Halo, on the sidelines as well. But, they also have those games that they announce, for future references. It can very much be like a chess game. Like, one false move, it could change the landscape of like how you move your next piece. Simple as. Until then, I feel like a lot of people should, obviously be excited for the next generation, whether you're you're an Xbox fan or a PlayStation fan, or you're a person that is a PC person, but you're waiting for those Xbox games, whatever it may be. Be excited, but at the same time, wait until those reveals come out, which, I don't see Xbox until E3. That's very evident. PlayStation, I see them I've already said this. I think they're going to be around. I think they're going to do a reveal event in May 13th because that's roughly around the same time as
the official reveal. But I'm talking about before the official reveal.
Well, I said to you earlier on, Jay, if it would have been GDC, right? There would have been some sort of mention about it there, but because they're not there, they could theoretically do like a puff piece as a blog post, maybe, like Xbox have done. If not, it will be May. Again, like we are all, like I said before, right? We are talking about PlayStation sitting at 107 million units, right? Compared to thing that's sitting at 54 million, right? PlayStation they're not as eager to push out the next console as much as Xbox have. Because again, they've tried so much. If Xbox weren't releasing the Series X right now, like they were going to release next year or 2 years down the line, they will be suffering in those next 2 years. Whereas PlayStation, not so much. Take that as it will, but that is the case. That's definitely the case. They'll be relying on Game Pass. And wherever xCloud comes out this year, that also. But yeah, like, you know, it's two different timelines of how these guys are perceiving what they're going to go for, you know, as a reveal or as they take those steps forward. Yeah, I don't quite like the whole paying for online thing. That's never sat well with me when it comes to consoles. PS3 did it right. I'll still stick to PC, but I like to check out the exclusives time to time. Jessica, again, yeah, I mean, again, I agree with you on. I definitely agree with you on the aspect of not paying online. It's great. Obviously, there's only like a selected amount of games that you don't have to pay for Plus, which is like free to play games on PlayStation. But obviously with Xbox, you actually have to pay for Gold? I think it is to play free to play games. If I'm not mistaken. Which I hope that they take that shit out of the context because I don't know why they're still doing that, but. Yeah, I think PlayStation 3, I like the fact that I was able to play online, and if I wanted to go for PlayStation Plus when it did get revealed, I wouldn't mind dishing out additional money for it. I still don't know why they gave us we started paying for Plus membership. Like
they did that because of this gen, and they basically just copied off of what Microsoft had been doing for 2 generations.
Yeah, I mean, again, they're not wrong for doing it because it's clear that obviously what was the number for Plus memberships? What was that, 40 million, something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Roughly nearly halfway. So, again, I wish PlayStation... It would be great if PlayStation 5 were like, listen, we're going back to the original format of you don't have to pay for online. That would be great. And then, if you're a dedicated, hardcore PlayStation fan that wants that Plus membership to get the free games... I think that'd be great. I mean, it'll be great for Xbox as well. Because again, you've got Game Pass. It seems right. But yeah, is what it is. May I ask a question? Why does none talk about the fact that you have to pay? Nickab. I literally just mentioned that. You have to pay for Fortnite. So you have to pay for Gold to play Fortnite, which I hope Xbox take that shit out of cycle because I don't know why they're doing that. It's weird. Like they want to be very consumer friendly. They want to give people options.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like I love that everybody's being fooled by their little act, but they're not really sincere if they're not changing that. You see
it's a very minute thing. I know that for a fact. And in some people's opinion, it may be nitpicky. But it is a thing that's on Xbox, which a lot of people tend to point at,
And it's like they can change it, they choose not to.
Yeah.
And look, that's what I'm saying. Hey, if you want to say Xbox is doing good, that's your opinion. It's not a fact, okay? It's at the end of the generation, and you're changing things around. That doesn't mean you're doing good. The generation is over. Even they're acting right now as if the generation is over. They're in full swing in the next gen. So with that being said, no, bro. If you still gotta pay for every free, you have to pay to play online to play every free to play game on Xbox. That's fucked up. Dreams, by the way, you don't need PlayStation Plus for. I believe Little Big Planet is like that too. There are a few games, and then of course there's a huge library of free to play games on the PS4, including MMOs. Where you just don't need PlayStation Plus. Like Warframe, Fortnite, all of those games. DC Universe Online was one of my first ones. You did not need PlayStation Plus. You could play, you can hang out on Fortnite all you fucking want, and not have to pay for PlayStation Plus and still play alongside your friends, as well as cross-play friends. Microsoft is the only person that's forcing you to pay for online to play free-to-play titles.
Again, it's. I just saw Jessica. I just saw you're talking about paid. No, again, like that's the reason why. And like you said, from a business standpoint, like you understand why they're doing this because it's again. They know that they're going to profit from the PlayStation Plus and the Gold membership, as well as Game Pass. You want to throw that in there, and PS Now. That's evident. And obviously with recently PlayStation Now have been trying to incorporate more games that will entice people to come over. And I've already said this before, I do believe PlayStation will be, whenever they do the reveal event, I expect PlayStation to be talking a bit more about the evolution of PS Now. I do think they're going to completely change the format of it and what it does. And I hope they look at it in the same sort of light as what Xbox have been doing, which, again, it's nothing bad about taking, like, pages out of each other's books, because, again, like, in the end, if they're competing against one another in a good, healthy mentality, it's good for both of them. It keeps them both on their feet, theoretically. I mean, even though this generation, PlayStation have been very well, like, they've done very well, even though the competition hasn't been as, close as what they should be, but yeah, like, again, you mentioned you play Bloodborne on your PS4. Again, a good explanation of this, you don't have to pay for Plus, right? You can play Bloodborne, you can play Last of Us, you can play Uncharted 4, God of War, all these first-party games on PlayStation. You can play, because obviously they got the story narrative. Obviously, they have got the multiplayer. Some of them have got multiplayer things, like Uncharted and Last of Us. But again, like, most people play those games for the story aspects, so it kind of is like a, what tickles your fancy in a sense. So, yeah. I'm just going to read some more of these things. It's pretty much the only reason, in my opinion,
beautiful.
why I PlayStation 4. I mean, I'm guessing just because talking about Bloodborne as to why, Bloodborne. I mean, Bloodborne's a good game. Uncharted's a good game. The series as well.
Horizon Zero Dawn doesn't have multiplayer. You can play that game.
I'm talking about like the reason to buy a PlayStation 4, Jay. Like there are loads of good. There's more reasons than that, Jessica. But obviously, depends on the individual.
I mean, look, it's all about what you want to play, and it's all about your opinion. If you don't feel that PlayStation is the system you need to invest in, don't. There are millions and billions of people on this planet that just don't have a reason to play on PlayStation. And I'm not going to do anything to try to change their mind. What's weird is when you see people begging for the game that was made with Sony's money on the hardware that they invested in and the hardware they created. That right there is what I don't believe in. I don't believe.
Just to mention, Jay, just saying, this was a few minutes ago. Well, but actually, no, it's a couple hours ago. Apparently, Capcom had pulled out of PAX East as well due to the coronavirus.
Woo! Last minute shit, right? Because that's at the end of the week.
Like people again. I mean, like we discussed this before, man. Like everyone seems like, because obviously PlayStation have technically moved their operations to America, and everyone's like, why has it affected them? It shouldn't have. That's true, but at the same time, it's more to do with externals outside of America traveling in, getting them there, and making sure. And it's like they don't want to deal with that shit. Obviously, theoretically, they could have still had like Doom, a couple of indie games, and Last of Us.
When I didn't even see the news report for Capcom pulling out.
No, this is it, man. I know Kojima pulled out GDC, and
again, I saw that.
This all comes down to. I mean, again, I'm gonna say it right now.
I don't think it matters if he went to GDC. We already know Death Stranding is going to PC, so they should just buy the game. They don't really need advertisement. The game's going to PC. We all know that.
Just to say, everyone in the chat, I want to ask you all a question and say, yes or no, and that is, do you think this coronavirus will affect E3 in some aspect, like anybody pulling out or not attending E3? I want to know this because for me, I feel people will definitely pull out, but I'm not going to say specific names. I'm not saying that. Like, I just want to know, like, who, like, do we think that it's going to affect the E3? Because I do personally. Yeah, there you go. See, yes. There you go. I mean, we got more people in the chat, but you know,
you want to know what? No, I'm gonna go against the grain.
I mean, listen, man. I hope it doesn't.
Adam, tell me I wasn't right yesterday when I said that this shit would not stop Microsoft for talking about their Xbox and they're gonna go forward. Yes, and I said nothing's gonna stop them. They're still gonna bring the system out this year. What did they do today? Yeah. Talk about the specs. They're not, bro. They're going to E3. It don't matter how bad the virus is. They're going to E3, bro.
Like, Jay, like, the thing is, though, again with Xbox, and again, like, you know, like the
I mean, they're going to E3. I don't know how many other people are gonna go or pull out, but they will go there.
What I'm trying to say is, though, Jay, is that, like, when it comes to Xbox, right? Like, everyone says they're going to E3, right? But then when you look at, like, you know, people within the media and, like, having again, they open their eyes a bit. Theoretically, they're not at E3. E3 is to do with the convention center, which, you know, is E3, right? They are no longer at there. They have not got booth space, so on and so forth. Where they do their convention is at the Nokia Theater, which is Microsoft's own thing, and then they rent out the plaza outside. So they technically are doing their own thing. But yes, they do, quote unquote, call their thing the E3 media briefing. But yeah, like theoretically, they will get. Yeah, I don't see Xbox putting out. That's one person I do not see doing that, right? But I do see, like,
okay. You want to debate me?
Capcom?
I want to debate
Capcom, you. I don't know if Capcom will be doing it. I don't know if Square Enix will be doing it.
Okay, Adam, it's time to debate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm gonna debate you, right?
I mean, like, we
about Microsoft being one of the only major people at E3 this year, because I feel that if people are doing it for PAX and those similar people are doing the same thing for GDC, the next reasonable option is that those same exact people that pulled out of PAX and GDC will pull out of E3. What are your thoughts on that?
Enjoying an honestly amazing series. Sorry, what was that, Jay?
Damn it! I was basically saying the people that pulled out of PAX and GDC are probably gonna pull out of E3 as well.
Well, yeah, I again, if this virus is still where it is today, like, right, speaking theoretically, we're speaking right now. If it's the same, right, I do see people pulling out, no doubt in my mind, right? I do see people pulling out. You know, because if they were to come over, that is, like, again, that's basically, again, convention centers. I don't know if anyone in the chat has gone to, like, a gaming convention. I have, and I've been lucky enough to not get the whole. It's an actual thing. It's called con flu, which is convention flu. Obviously, it's not like, you know, coronavirus, but it's like people that go to conventions. I've seen this, like, when I've gone to a convention center, which was back in 2014. I remember going to the toilet, washing my hands, right, and seeing people go to the toilet and not wash their hands, touch the doorknob, and walk out.
Yeah, I heard that people like to wipe their own ass with their hands. I heard Xbox people like doing that.
I am not like that. Like, in somewhere in the UK, Jessica, I don't know if you've gone to this one, Jessica. I've gone to Eurogamer EGX in London.
That's big.
I went last year to EGX, which it came back to London because it was in Birmingham the past few years. But, like, yeah, like, I was in the bathroom. I saw people, like, literally. I remember dude, no joke, Jay. Right, when I saw that, I got tissue. I got because they didn't have, like, blow dries, man. They had this, like, tissue that you just dispense. I got this tissue, bro. I washed my hands, did all that shit like that. Got a bit of tissue and literally got it with a doorknob and fucking didn't touch the doorknob, bro. Because, like, I am not touching shit. And then every time I played the game, I would use hand sanitizer to make sure whatever controller I was touching, I wasn't, you know, if it was to go and
so
eat
you just
something,
explain why people should worry.
Dude, like, yeah,
no,
100%.
You just explained. No, you explained it perfectly. Why people should worry. Look, I saw so many things about the virus. I saw things about other things. It's affecting other types of conventions outside of gaming. The Xbox fans at the beginning of last week that made jokes about this, Look, let me just be a big ass crazy fanboy for a minute. I wish Microsoft didn't drop this news today so they could confront. No, hold on. So they could confront the bullshit that they said wasn't real about the virus. When everybody else is pulling out of everything and not just gaming. You know?
Okay.
Like, even the stocks are going lower and they're blaming it on the virus. Bro.
Yeah.
These guys are idiots. Xbox fans are idiots. I'm all for them going over there and getting the virus. If that's what they want to do, go over wherever they want to go and get the virus. I know the only place they're going is E3. These Xbox fans that are like bitching about Sony pulling out of PAX, none of them was gonna go to PAX. Those guys don't go to PAX. They were not gonna go to PAX, bro.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is with the whole virus thing, I've seen a lot of people say it, and like, I listen, it's one of those things where I think it, but I'm not going to say it. But like, I'm going to say it right now. Like, what are the odds where, like, you know, let's just theoretically say E3 comes up, Xbox people are enjoying E3 and stuff like that, and someone does have it, and shit gets bad, right? I don't want to be that guy, but like, if just saying, like, you know, I'm being a realist. If it does happen, like, what happens then? Like, you know, like, who do you blame, bro? Do you blame Xbox for doing this? Do you blame ESA? Do you blame fucking?
Hold on.
I mean, you can't blame.
I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out. Let me help you out, Adam. I will be alright if that happens. Because I wouldn't have to listen to these fuckers on Twitter or their podcasts anymore. They would be look. They will be quarantined. I'm not saying they're gonna die. I'm just saying they will be quarantined. No. They would be quarantined, and they probably would have to stay in California a little bit longer.
We spoke about this. We spoke about this yesterday, right? Yesterday. Sorry. Like Valve has mentioned a good point, right? People die of the fucking People die. More people have died from the common flu every fucking year, right? When it comes to coronavirus, it's pretty much, theoretically, the coronavirus is very identical to a basic of flu. It's only when it gets to its later stages where it starts to affect your breathing and you start to get it's sort of like a stomach bug where you start being sick and then vice versa, the other side. You know, the other way around, basically, right? But, based on how virus, again, like, based on, like, a cold to a virus, right? With this coronavirus, you can't take medicines, right? Obviously, if you have like skin symptoms of that, you can obviously take stuff to like decrease it, but theoretically, it's not going to make you get better. It's not a bacterial thing. It's a thing that you have to just go in. You have like they've been doing, right? They've been quarantining people for 2 weeks, roughly, to give them enough rest and give them the help that they need to get better. And then they test them to make sure they're good to then get them on their way, right? When it comes to like a cold, right? That's more of a bacterial thing where you take paracetamol, cold medicines, which theoretically helps you get rid of it quicker. So it's again like it's completely different, like as to how you get rid of these things. I'm not saying I'm not a doctor, but I know people that have studied for like 5 years, doctor stuff. They've told me about the virus when it popped up, and they said nothing to worry about because, again, we're talking about China, right? And we're talking about America, England, Italy, France, whatever, right, in the world. Every country has a different retrospect of how their healthcares are maintained, but also like how good they are, right? Like the NHS in the UK is really good. Like it makes sure that it helps the people like in the UK, and then obviously with the US, obviously you guys have to pay, right, to get healthcare, but theoretically you're in good hands. You get the help that you need and you come out. Obviously you have to pay, yes, but again, you're not like China where they literally had to build 1,000 beds in a random fucking place to quarantine people. Like, and they built that shit fast. Like, they really did build that shit fast. But, like, again, different conditions. And again, in China, the population of China is fucking humongous. So for people to get infected with that virus and die, theoretically, it's kind of a no-given. And I wish this never fucking happened. Because, I mean, I don't know how it all started. People say it's the bat soup, but that wasn't the case. It was all aspects. But
So let me ask you a question. I'm just gonna be crazy right now. Are people gonna boycott the Batman movie because bats gave us the virus? And if you go see the Batman movie, you might get the virus because it's a bat.
You dick.
Are those the same bats flying around him in the movie that have the virus? Like, or are they gonna use CGI bats? Like, what are they?
What are you trying to say, that Batman is the super spreader of the coronavirus?
We don't know. Nobody knows, Adam. We don't fucking know. Look, I'm just saying, bro. If they go to California and let's say one person has that virus and then they have to be quarantined again, that's just a couple days, maybe a week, maybe even a month that I don't have to listen to these guys on Twitter or their podcasts, and that's a win-win for the whole community.
I mean, I've said this before, right? Colt Eastwood, D-Law, those are the only two.
K-Mega's going over to E3 too.
No. I'm not. No, what I'm trying to say is that those two, Colt Eastwood and D-Law, and some others, I haven't blocked them. I've muted them mainly because, again, most of the time in my feed, I would literally see in trending pages or PlayStation aspects, I would just theoretically see their videos over and all the fucking time. And they always talk about hardware, right? And for me, like, the next gen hardware I'm looking forward to, right? But when I see games like Animal Crossing, Doom, Final Fantasy, Resident Evil, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us, Cyberpunk, Avengers, all coming out before this, and I no disrespect to the games that I haven't mentioned, but those are the games that I'm looking forward to, right? In some sense, anyway. Like, I'm looking forward to the games that are coming up. And these are all the things that are in front of the hardware, right? I'm more focused on those things than, PS5 and Xbox One, the Xbox Series X. And, I don't mind people speaking about next-gen hardware, but when you are popping out, like, 5 videos, or maybe
5 videos an hour, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're pumping them out like they're children, right? And you're basically delivering the same sort of lines from previous, videos. I kind of get to the point where, why is this content even existing when you've already stated this in your previous videos? Like, I would rather see these guys talk about, games that I've mentioned, and maybe, Xbox Studio games, a bit more. I know they talk about them, but they don't talk about them in a certain extent. And, I talked to Snow Bunny. We'll talk about Animal Crossing and just Switch in general. And it's great to talk about games and not hardware. Because, again, the end of last gen, end of last gen was pretty cool. We got GTA, we got Last of Us, we got some other games as well. As well as Bioshock Infinite, I think it was as well. And this generation, end of this generation, is the same. It's so good. We've got so much we get to play at the end of before the next gen comes around. And, it's kind of the sense of, I don't want Final Fantasy, Doom, Animal Crossing, Last of Us, all these great games that are coming to us to be engulfed by this hardware next-gen tech talk when, theoretically, we buy consoles or play on our PCs or play on our Nintendo Switches for the games. That's the thing we buy these things for. Not, to say, oh, look how powerful this console is. We're buying these things because we want to play these games, these experiences, these stories or whatever it may be that tickles your fancy. Maybe you like multiplayer than single player. It's like, I despise that aspect of parts of the gaming community. Obviously, it's not all like that. That's the thing. Not every person in the gaming community is like this, but there are right now. It seems to be the case. It's hardware talk more than basically who's got the bigger dick. And theoretically, that's what I've been seeing today. Xbox have been swinging their dick around today, which yes, they have. They have been definitely swinging their dick around. But at the same time, I don't really want to look at that. I wanna concentrate on doing something else,
Well, look,
but yeah,
everybody can celebrate Doom, right? Everybody can celebrate Doom, and I agree with what you're saying.
Oh, dude, I can't wait for Doom. I can't wait.
That's what I don't like about Xbox fans either. They're trying to say, hey, well, Doom's gonna look better on the Xbox.
I don't know if you've been seeing it though, Jay, man. What's Xbox Series X talk's been going on today, right? I just been on Twitter seeing this random. This is the most random, like.
Yeah, I know the Animal Crossing and the Doom
Animal
community.
Crossing,
Yeah.
Doom Eternal
Yeah.
fan bases are just uniting together, community-wise, talking about fucking like. Obviously, they come out on the same day, and I understand why they're doing it, but to think that a game like Animal Crossing as a community are talking to a Doom community and creating things like fan art, videos, I'm just like, I never expected something like this to happen, but I'm like, you know what? I fucking love it. It's fucking awesome. I love this shit.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah, man, like, it is what it is, but, I mean, for me, like, I've always said this, right? I'm going to get a PS5 day one. The reason why I'm going to get PS5 over the Xbox Series X is because Xbox have already confirmed to me I don't need to buy a Series X for the next 2 years. And theoretically, looking at their library of games, I don't expect to see nearly enough come out to justify me buying a console. Like, obviously, Halo comes out this year, right? That's one game. I'm talking about 4 to 5 titles that theoretically will tickle my fancy. The reason why I'm buying a PlayStation is because I've got friends. That's, friends and family that I talk to on PlayStation that also have PlayStation. That's why I'm sticking with PlayStation. It's like what Xbox fans might be doing, right? That's where their people are. But, for me, that's why, I'll get a Series X maybe, I don't know, 2022, maybe? And that's when I would expect, if it's... I mean, if the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X are the same specs, and they are $500, I expect those consoles to be, $450, $400 by 2022, maybe. Depending on, what, Black Friday deal, was it, the deal sort of thing, Christmas, summer, Black Friday sort of deal sort of thing. Not, the extent where it's that price, theoretically. But, if Xbox is 600, which I believe could be a case, I see that console being what, 450 maybe 500. I don't know. Again, I'm talking about. Obviously what I'm stating is something that hasn't been yet confirmed. So I'm not making assumptions as of yet until they come out themselves and speak the truth of what they want to do.
Well, look, it's a bullet point. We're looking at it right now. By the way, I got it on the screen. 12 teraflops. Then you got variable rate shading. Then you got hardware accelerated DirectX ray tracing. These are already obvious things that we knew. Quick resume, multiple games. That was something that leaked out that we figured out. It's funny how the Xbox fans that we were talking about, they talked about all the leaks, all the rumors, and as far as everything is concerned on this list right here, they knew about it before today, but they're still acting like they're surprised.
Well, here's the thing, though, Jay.
Why act like you're surprised when you're the people that were leaking out this information in podcasts?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, Jay. Us saying this, right, is that theoretically we think they knew. We think that they know that they knew about these specs, right? But the thing is, based on the amount of sources, leaks, rumors that everyone was dangling around with the Series X, right? It's more the point of they were covering so many bases where one of them was fucking gonna hit, right? I mean, hell, look at think about all the patents that PlayStation have released, right, of the controller. One of those patents is bound to fucking hit. One of them, covering loads of bases. So, the one thing that I didn't see, theoretically was never mentioned was smart delivery, which is basically a fancier term for backwards compatibility. Let's all be honest. It's a fancy term for backwards compatibility.
Know what, man? Thank you, Adam, for breaking that down, because when I was just going through this list, I was like, what the fuck is smart delivery? Are they going to deliver a baby the smart way? Are we getting a smart baby delivery? That's stupid. But what you said, it is a very fancy way to say backwards compatibility, because as we know, they stopped their backwards compatibility for the Xbox. What, last year? They got their last update?
Well, yeah, they stopped it. It's kind of like Game Pass though. You see, Game Pass they put up a certain amount of games, but eventually those games will be taken off. And again, like I've seen Game Pass, how many games they've got, and there is a lot of games that they could theoretically take out. Like I'm talking about smaller games, right? They could theoretically take out to leave room for the bigger games. But going back to compatibility, that is true. They've stopped doing that. But that's the reason why they've done that though, Jay, is because they've kind of given the fan bases the games that they want. And if let's just say a fan or a community starts sort of rallying behind a game that they want backwards compatible, they will probably most likely do it. Right, but right now they are closed. They close the doors on that.
Yeah, but even when they do that, right, we know there are going to be a lot of games that just, even if they're fans that want it, they're not getting it. Okay, Blue Dragon is one. They've been, ever since they started the program of getting games backwards compatible for 360, the original Xbox era, there were some games that they just couldn't get. And that was one of them. The Lost Odyssey, you got a remaster for it on the PS4, but you didn't get the backwards compatibility update. You see what I'm saying? So it's yes, I understand they're going to do it in good faith for some games that they know they have the ability to do, but it's still very misleading because there are games that people really want and they know they can't get that backwards compatibility because either the license is lost or the developers won't work with them to get it.
Just to say here, Jay, there's two things actually. One, so GameIndustry.biz, the people that I rely on when it comes to gaming news, they do very good articles. I respect the guys at GameIndustry.biz. I've actually met them in person.
I met them too.
I've actually met them. So Capcom, Square Enix bow out of PAX East, which obviously we know about Square Enix, but it's obviously an official statement, obviously from, them as a whole. But apart from that, Jessica JSK, basically, just regarding her question, since Jay's showing some tech, I'm actually considering upgrading my PC sometime sooner, but ray tracing isn't a great idea for consoles. I doubt they will use much of it. Well, I would say of it, or due to performance hit. Here, so I'm gonna address this in two different ways, right? One, you bring up the aspect of upgrading your PC, right? If I was going, I've been on the fence about this, right? And I've said this before. For me, I could kill two birds with one stone, and that is, I could get a gaming PC that allows me to, as well as be able to play Game Pass games or just Xbox games in general, right? I will be able to use my PC for other reasons, such as I'm an illustrator, a graphic designer, which I want to get back into sometime this year. I'm hoping to get back into. Currently working on that, but again, a PC will benefit me more than getting the Xbox Series X because I'll be able to use it for multiple reasons. So, I mean, if you're considering it, I definitely would consider. I would definitely say definitely do that, Jessica. Now, the second part of this is obviously the ray tracing, and without a shadow of doubt, I absolutely fucking agree. When it comes to ray tracing, I understand a lot of people are. I see a lot of people putting emphasis on ray tracing, right, as if it's this brand new thing. To me, don't even take this as an offense. To me, it's a gimmick. It's something that will obviously make a game look pretty, but if the studios implement these things into these games, like they know for a fucking fact that this definitely will hit the performance of their games. And if they had to make a choice between putting ray tracing into their games over performance, you bet your ass they'll put performance over everything else. And I've seen ray tracing in Battlefield 5. I think it was Battlefield 5, and also Control. I don't see much of a reason for it. Not as of yet. Maybe later on down the line, I could see a better reasoning behind ray tracing. Maybe. But right now, I don't quite see it being as big of a thing as what people think it is. because obviously, it's ray tracing is lighting, reflections, but it's also other things like that's the main things that people sort of point upon with ray tracing. But it's more than just that. But yeah, I agree with you, Jessica, on the whole ray tracing thing. I don't think it's nearly as big of a thing as what people say it is, and yeah, I think it's just again, it kind of feels like it's like makeup in a sense. It's something that they just put on for a bit of for just a bit of time, to make themselves look pretty, and then it's like, fuck it, I'm gonna wipe it all off my face and go to bed. But yeah, like I agree with you on that. I don't think ray tracing is. I think what next generation, what it all comes down to next generation is, again, it's the content, it's the services in which these two consoles, and including Nintendo, are supplying. That's the fundamentals of what's happened next generation, and then whatever transpires within that generation, because stuff like Game Pass has come around the corner this generation. VR has become more of a thing, and I expect VR to become more and more mainstream, mainly due to the fact that Half-Life Alyx will be the thing. I think will be definitely the thing that will push VR in the direction. And if the patent for the new finger sensor, the finger scanner, fingerprint, or what was like finger sensor controller for PSVR is to be true with the VR2, I completely think that's going to be a thing. I think PSVR 2 is a thing. I think they're doing finger tracking it's like finger tracking. I think it was something like that. For Half-Life, finger sensor tracking or something like that. I forgot what the name of it was. Yeah, I'm trying to kind of fuck up my words here. But yeah, like I do believe that that will be a big thing. Like because I think when the people that are working on Alyx came out and said that they would like Half-Life Alyx to go to PSVR, because theoretically right now PlayStation VR it has sold more units than I think I don't know if I'm correct on this, but more than Vive and Oculus, and obviously whenever their system comes out, obviously it would be more than that. But again, like that's because again, like it's the quality is not quite there on the VR system, PSVR, but again, it's more consumer friendly on the pricing and so on and so forth. But yeah. But I just saw your comment there, Jessica. I agree. It's a gimmick. I guess I said my point wrong. No, you. Again, Jessica, I don't think you said your point wrong. Like what you said, I completely agree. You just, again, you word things differently compared to me. It's absolutely fine. No, everyone's got different point of views. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would tell the PC community, you're fine. You guys are fine. You're getting a lot of third-party contract exclusive games from PlayStation. You're getting third-party contract exclusive games that used to only be on Switch, and then every game that's used to be exclusive to Xbox, you're getting access to that. I would tell PC fans, because we know this. Me and Adam understands this pattern of migration. I don't feel that you guys need to ever do that again. Don't ever feel that you need to get a Microsoft console just for you to go back to the PC community. No, you don't need to. Obviously, they're letting you know you don't need to. So I don't feel the need to buy one of their consoles, because you have access to everything that they already given out. The only thing is the architecture of that console versus the architecture of your PC. Obviously, it's going to be different. But the meat of it, the games, the service that's a good value for consumers, you have access to everything.
It's like I said earlier on, Matt, it depends on what you use your PC as well, because some people would buy a PC theoretically for a prime reason, whereas, like I said earlier on, I would buy a PC for gaming, but also I would buy a PC for, doing other things such as illustration design, Photoshop, InDesign, illustration from Adobe. I would probably also, get into YouTube. I would actually start, I'll buy like a mic, I'll buy a camera, I'll get my streaming setup completely decked out, and I would go that way. Again, like the thing I really fucking hate, which I despise, because they don't do it, they haven't got it in the UK, is there's a company called NX NXTZ or NXZT, I think it was like that. That company for computer builds looks so fucking good to use. But the thing is, it's only in fucking America. I think I can buy stuff and bring it over. But the thing is, I've got to pay fucking VAT and like delivery on top of that, international fees, which is gonna be a fucking bomb. And I fucking hate that because I like their builds. I've seen their builds; they look so good. Yeah, there you go. NZX XT. That's it. I would love to get one of their builds, Jessica, because I've seen their stuff. I've seen what's called that? I don't know if you know. There's this esports team called 100 Thieves. Nate Shot, the CEO of the company, has got this sexy ass build of theirs, and it just looks so tidy, so neat, and it's easy to replace parts of that thing. And like that's what I want. I don't want something that's made from like just cluttered. I mean, I know I can make my own, which I can make it not cluttered, but if I had to choose a company to do it for me, I would definitely choose them. I don't actually. You actually know you can buy the parts and build it yourself. To be honest, but yeah, that's the only thing I despise about America. I ain't gonna lie. It's like Razer in a sense. Like Razer. I can't buy stuff online. I've got to either if they have an event in the UK, they might sell stuff out of their own booths. But yeah, like I think To be honest, I feel like I gotta admit though, Jay, I'm leaning more towards a P. If I was to get an Xbox Series X, I probably wouldn't.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out what I want.
I'd probably go for
when
PC
it comes to the PC. I don't know if I'm gonna build a desktop, buy a desktop, or get a laptop because I've just liked it. I mean, like I said, this laptop is roughly the same age as the PS4, right? So it's roughly 6-7 years old. So any laptop that I get after this one came out will be better. But with Sam's help, as you can see, my streaming shit, the quality is way better. So I know whatever new laptop I get is going to do what I need it to do. Editing, I've been editing on my phone for months now. I can edit on a computer. Bro, I don't care about all that. It's just, like you said, I want to be able to stream at a good quality for what I want to do and also be on camera and shit. I have all the setups, all the layouts. I just feel that I need a new up-to-date laptop so I can do more editing, with Photoshop, because I've learned all of these skills and shit. And the Photoshop that I got, or the one that I want to get, it's not compatible with this computer. So I do need. I'm gonna need a new laptop because I think I'm running on Windows.
Yeah, when it comes to Adobe software, it's quite well. Adobe software is very expensive. Not unless some people do it, they pirate.
I'm on Windows 8. I think it's Windows 8 or 7. I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah, because when it comes to Adobe software, you can't outright buy it. Like they have packages where you spend you either do a year subscription or you do a monthly subscription. And it's depending on which one you go for, it can be quite expensive. But most people and people do this, they do pirate versions of Photoshop and Illustrator. But the thing is, they can't pirate the newest, latest version because there's something that stops it from being the case of it. So you have to you basically get the version down, the one down from it, basically. Because I remember my brother used to do that, but now he's he's got the money to do actually he works for a company that gives him the software. But yeah,
I don't know if I told you the other day, but I've been using Power Director for many years on YouTube, and I guess I'm subscribed to the new version of Power Director.
All right, Future Element.
Huh?
Peace, man. No, Future Element says he's got bounce, man.
Okay, man. Have a good night. But yeah, I got Power Director. I guess I'm paying like $5 a month for that shit on my phone. So, like I said, I'll be making similar types of videos. I already got all my intros and watermarks and shit like that. Because there are some things I'm definitely, we're getting into the meat of this generation almost. After PAX is over, this is just gonna be interesting because I think that everybody needs to focus more on their social media presence. You know, if you feel that you don't want to go to these conventions for the safety of your employees, well, you need a good social media presence so you can start giving out information on that service. You see what I'm saying? Like Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, not just Sony. I'm talking about Capcom. I'm talking about Ubisoft. I'm talking about Square
Yeah,
Enix.
that's what I
Anybody
mean.
that's
Yeah,
planning to not attend
that's what I meant about
GDC
the
or
whole
PAX,
GDC
you
thing. You
need to
see,
give out that same information.
that's why
Like,
I mentioned it about GDC. You see, like with GDC, there's a few people backed out, right? Sony backed out. Kojima's backed out. I expect more people to maybe back out because again, before Sony backed out and others, right? GDC released a statement that they're still going forward with their plans, but they are taking precautions with hand sanitizers and other aspects to make sure that
bro,
everybody is safe. Which,
I heard a rumor though that gamers are very dirty.
well, no shit. Well, some of them, but not
Yeah,
everybody.
bro,
Not every,
the classic gamers that we see depicted,
yeah.
that are in their fucking basements or in the attic, and it's just pizza and soda cans all over the place, bro. To a degree, those are real. Those
I
versions of the
mean,
gamers
to
are
to
real.
be honest, I used to share a bedroom, and I used to when I was in London, I used to share a bedroom in the attic with my brother. And literally, bro, like
It's
it was
dirty.
cool. It was no, it wasn't dirty, man. We were clean, man. But it was just a sense of our bedrooms were literally the third floor of the attic, and like our sister was literally below us, and she was like, she was older. Well, she's older than me and younger than my brother, but because she was the only girl in the family, that we're like, yeah, we'll give her the the room, sort of thing. But yeah, like like what you're saying, perceiving people, obviously, yes, that is the case. Like I said earlier on, like there are some dirty ass motherfuckers. I've seen them in conventions,
Yeah, I don't
and
think hand sanitizer is gonna do it. I think you need to let these
well,
motherfuckers
it
know you
does.
better use
Yeah,
that shit for your life. Like
it
like
does.
have some signs and messages. It's
No, they
important
have.
to
No, they're doing
fucking
that.
do
They're
this,
doing
or
that.
have
They're doing that.
wet wipes next to every game station so you can
No,
wipe off the
that's what they're doing
controller.
though. That's what they're doing though, Jay. They're putting hand sanitizers at these stations, wipes. Also, when people come off the stations or whatever it is they're doing at GC, they are basically sanitizing them for the next person. And to be honest, with this whole virus thing going around, and to be honest, this should be a thing that should happen regardless, right? I see a lot of people taking major fucking precautions, making sure that they're not being fucking disgusting, and they expect others to do the same. Right? It's just like fun. It's just
You
courtesy,
know
right?
somebody's gonna fuck up. Not everybody's gonna pay attention to the
Because
fucking rules.
like I talked about this with Snow Bunny yesterday, right? One of my friends came back from Japan with one of her friends, right? And I asked her, "How was your trip? How was it based on virus aspects?" Theoretically, nothing was bad. Like they like there was no concerns in Japan, and again there were confirmations that there was a virus and stuff like that. They had the cruise ship, which confirmation, but that was something completely different. But she mentioned to me that they were wearing masks, but the thing is, the reason why they wear masks in Japan is mainly to do
They do
with
that
common
all the time. I'm not worried about that. They do
well,
that
yeah,
a
that's what I
lot.
mean. But again, they wear masks out of courtesy, like for others, to make sure that they don't cough on people. That again, they don't spread germs, and that's great. I mean, I watched a few weeks ago. I watched the film Parasite, right? And it's obviously this is Korea, so it's a completely different country. But it is a sense of you have a wealthy family and then the poor family, right? And where the poor family lives, right? Which is the main characters and so on and so forth, where the story kind of leads on to, right? The environment that they lived in, like the condition that they live in, is so fucking like grimy compared to what the hierarchies would. Like there was a segment in the film where they literally were walking downstairs, like as if they're going down to the depths of fucking hell, right, to where they lived. And I was like, yo, that's how they live? That's in China we live, man. And again, I feel sorry for these people.
What the fuck is wrong with the internet?
It's just crazy, man.
It's crazy.
If you guys want a kick-ass game on your computer, check out a thing called Project Zomboid. I'll check it out. I mean, I don't think I've only got a laptop, but I'll have a look at it.
Wikipedia. Project Zomboid is an open-world survival horror video game in alpha stage development by British and Canadian independent developer, The Indie Stone.
Looks good. Looks interesting. It seems to be like an old school top-down at a certain angle.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of.
It's pretty cool.
Reminds me a lot of fucking Command and Conquer, Red Alert 1, and just Command and Conquer. Like, Jesus. I mean,
a good horde mode type game. Like a game where I can just go against waves and waves of enemies. Like teamed up with other people, man. I just want a good horde game. I don't know. I think I got them. I don't know. I mean, I know that Uncharted 4 has that shit, but that shit ain't even fun sometimes because they so fucking difficult, man. And you got to make sure you have a good team with you too. Or
I should be, I should be able to run this. I mean, if I was to want to buy it on my laptop, because I've got a Mac laptop, which it has got Mac, so that's good. I'll see if I can give it a try. I mean, obviously, right now I've stopped playing it for a while. I'm still playing it. I'm playing Sekiro, which I recently just bought. Playing through this for the time being, but yeah, but what's cool again? More realistic zombie simulator. The thing is, I remember playing a Flash game that's kind of like this game, but obviously the camera angle is a bit different. But it was more like a little Flash game. Yeah. I can run it on a 12-year-old laptop. I think I will be able to run it because it doesn't look like anything too flashy. So I'll give it a try. Yeah. Right, to read right now, I'm like concentrating on this game. I think going back to the whole GDP thing, man. Like I do think that because Sony pulled out Kojima. I think Kojima he was going to be there doing a sit down. He could really, if he wanted to, he could do a live stream and still do the sit down and talk about what the creation of Death Stranding.
You're right, but that's what I'm saying. Everybody needs to make sure going into November, you have to make sure your presence is better than it used to be.
That's why you asked me that question earlier on, right? Do you think that they will do something before May? And I said if they did, they would do it in March, but it would be like something like what Microsoft did today, which is a PlayStation blog post discussing a couple of things that they might have done.
To be honest, I don't want them to talk to any publication anymore. Like, from now on, and this is what I was just talking about, Adam. Hear me out, bro. You gotta have your own your own fucking media presence, bro. Yeah. You should not have to go to fucking GameStop or IGN and have an interview. No, your website, your Twitter page, your YouTube page, your Twitch page should be the one where gamers say, oh, bro, I can't wait to see what the fuck they're going to post over here. No, bro, you shouldn't have to feel that you have to go to anywhere else to get that word out, bro. PlayStation, especially PlayStation. Whatever they fucking talk about, people are going to watch them. So, yes, I feel that they don't need to do what they did last year and talk to, Engadget or Wire. Put that shit on a blog and then tweet it out. That's enough. Trust me, it's enough. I think
that was only for those two reasons. Again, ever since that second one, they've been doing it on their own thing. So I think that was only I think that was a deal that was signed. They wanted to get specific what's the word?
Puts out, yeah.
A verified person, right, to talk about this, write this thing up. So I can understand why they did it with Wired, and Wired are again very good at what they do over there. But yes, I mean, one thing, thinking about it, right? One of my friends back in school mentioned this. The Tokyo Olympics in 2020. There is no official thing about them cancelling it. There is no consideration about cancelling the games. There's no postponing it. They're still going through it. So and think about again how it'll affect that. You know what I mean? But yeah,
what's funny? Is it funny that on my timeline, just as much as this stupid ass fucking poster with is it 5 features? It might as well call it 4 features. if I was an Xbox fan, like you said, they didn't really know, but they were talking about this shit.
They covered
How
the
can you
bases.
still be excited when you were already excited talking about the prospects of this being real? Like, I don't understand why I should be excited for them being excited for information that they talked about and they act excited 2, 3, 4 weeks ago when they were talking about this same what if.
Again,
like, bro, fuck them. Fuck
yeah,
them.
but here, well, the thing is though, Jay, saying this is that again, it's a sense of all the things that were on this, right, were all mentioned. But the thing is, people like an official confirmation in which this is the official confirmation that they have got 12 teraflops. They are very, again, the rate shading and the hardware acceleration with the ray tracing and the quick resume, all these things, right, being fully
You
confirmed.
know what, though? I'm starting to think. I just thought about one thing. Might not like this. Well, the hater's not gonna like it. You understand. Okay, they bragging about 12 teraflops because that's enough to make Xbox fans say, hey, I'll leave PlayStation if I already have a PS4 and I'll return back to you at the end of the year, right? Some people are already doing that. Like, people are mad that Sony didn't give out news for the PS5 and they're planning on leaving to go back to Xbox. But again, they were already with Xbox either at the beginning of this gen or sometime last gen. So, out of the 12, how much is going to be dedicated towards gaming and not to all the other bullshit that they want to do besides video games?
That depends on the game. That depends on the game itself. Yes. As I said this earlier on, right? Based on powerful consoles, right? The original Xbox was more powerful than the PS2. Did it sell as much as the PS2? No. Right? The 360, was it more powerful than the PS3? No, it wasn't. But guess what? PS3, even though it was more powerful, didn't sell nearly as much as the Xbox up until literally right at the fucking end. Literally right at the end. But then again, they had to sell that console at loss. To like the beginning, at the beginning, and then eventually started profiting it. Eventually over time, right? And obviously, the only console that I can really think of fundamentally that was obviously a bit more powerful, right, was the PS4 over the Xbox One. Very small, very marginal power difference. And I see the way I see that is the same way I look at this. It's the same sort of narrative where I see Xbox being like 12 teraflops, right? I see Xbox being way more powerful than the PlayStation 5. But the margin is going to be very fucking small. Very small. Very, very small. And then what happens is from that point, right, it no longer comes down to hardware. It comes down to, again, the features, the services, and the games in which these individuals have. If PlayStation have those big games that we've gotten this year, like Spider-Man 2, God of War 2, Horizon 2, Last of Us Part 2 going. But also, again, I've said this before, I wouldn't be surprised if they unveiled Last of Us Part 2 multiplayer, because that is going to be a thing, and then they also unveiled their brand new IP this year. Because they are technically working on the brand new IP. I can say this right now, they are definitely working on it.
Well,
right?
Look. Okay, multiplayer, yes. New IP, yes. I agree. I definitely agree. Not gonna announce that shit before the game drops. So yeah, after May, after June, yeah, in one of these press conferences or reveals or conventions, yeah, they'll start talking about it. But nah, bro, not before. No, not before Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, right
now,
now,
look, that's the thing with the PS5 and Last of Us possibly doing something that they did back in the day, which was in 2013, where the system dropped and then the game dropped, or the game the system got details and the game dropped around the same month that you was talking about, which actually was true. Last of Us did come out June 14th, 2013, which was after E3, I believe. So, with that being said, but this time Last of Us comes out a month before that. Obviously, the PS5, if it's gonna follow what happened with in the beginning of this gen, it would be getting talked about in May. Because again, they're not going to E3. They're not going to be a part of it in any type of way. They're not even going to pretend like Microsoft that they're going to be there. So they're definitely not going to do anything in June. Because they don't need to. But they could do something the month before June because that's what people will not expect, and especially if you want to go to E3 to get that information, you'll get the information a month earlier.
I mean, that may
But
be concerned.
how soon do you think we're gonna get Last of Us hype? Because the major hype was gonna be this week. PAX is at the end of this week.
Yeah, I mean, again, like.
So
the
do
thing
you
is
think
about
we're gonna get that gameplay trailer that I said that I would think that we would get?
Here's the thing about the whole PAX situation, right? That they were going to be doing with this game, right? Now, people got to understand, right, that yes, it's a bummer that people are no longer going to be playing this game, right? But here's the thing. First of all, the part of the game they're playing is what people played at the preview event, which is, and this is only half of it, and that is the segment where Ellie's with Dana near Jacksonville, right? Theoretically, what was the number based on what was it, like how long the demo was? It was roughly around a 30 minutes to an hour long per person, right? Now they came out PlayStation when they confirmed this that you had to go on PlayStation Experience, which is some website, something like that, to basically sign up to book your place. Let's just say, if that was the case, right, of it being like an hour long per person, right, think about how many people would be able to play Last of Us, that demo, and how many stations they had. Because they confirmed they weren't going to have a lot of stations. There was going to be like maybe like 25, 30 stations.
Oh, that's
and
not enough.
Think about how many people are going to be attending PAX East. That's not enough. Hours in the day, or enough stations to get everyone to play that game. That's why they did the whole sign-up sheet. And people will be pissed off when they go there, like, oh, why can't I not play? You need to sign up, to benefit, to definitely get a place in here. Instead of having to wait in line for, like, fuck knows how long to play the game. Like, I would say right now, if people would wait in line for that, right, they'll be waiting pretty much from the beginning of the day to nearly when the fucking thing shuts. If you're right at the back of the line. Like, it's not good. You may not even be able to play it. But, theoretically...
So it's weird, Nintendo going to fucking PAX and everything.
Yeah,
but the rest of everybody else isn't.
Yeah, but again, they have again, like... I don't know what they've got there. That's the problem. I know that obviously Animal Crossing will be there. But again, like, I don't know the fundamentals of it. But yeah, like, going off for, like, the Last of Us news, right? Like... them advertising Last of Us, right? I'm trying to think of like the first game, and I think I'm right for saying this, but they did not do the only thing they did prior. It was 2 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks before Last of Us came out. They had an event in Camden Town, London, which I went to. It was a secret launch event that they mentioned, I think, a day or two before, or on the day, I think it was, to come down, play the game early, play the multiplayer as well, and meet Ashley Johnson, Troy Baker, Neil Druckmann, Bruce Straley, and some others from Naughty Dog. I went there, met Neil, Bruce, Ashley, and Troy, and some others, and it was great. It was a great time, great night. Again, everyone loved the game. This was a few weeks before it came out. And I already initially knew that game was going to be absolutely fucking amazing. And obviously the reviews came out at the beginning of the week, or the week before, the Friday before, it came out, and obviously before E3, in which, if you go back on the 2013 E3 conference of PlayStation, they even state, don't forget to pick up the critically acclaimed Last of Us game that recently got reviewed and has got amazing reviews and so on and so forth. And, yeah. But based off of it, they didn't really do a run-up of, create like an event. Mainly because Last of Us doesn't need it, right? Last of Us sells itself. When it comes to PAX, the games that needed PAX the most wasn't Last of Us. It was the smaller games that were a part of Sony's booth. They're the ones that are going to suffer. Yeah. Oh, just so I saw... It might be my connection, Jessica. Sorry about that if it gets fuzzy. Sometimes it fluctuates.
I'm not hearing any fuck-ups.
I don't know. It might do. Sometimes it does it with me, with you. Like, you might sound robotic. But it's just to do... I think it's my end. Anyway. But But yeah, I think based on your question, Jay, I think that the way I look at Last of Us is the way I've already said it, right? Which is they will do an event around. For me, I would expect them to. I mean, I'm hoping anyway, because again, this is not confirmed for that, but I expect them to do an event in, like I said, 13th of May. They do an event, which is a week before Judges Week. I think it's roughly around Judges Week, which is when people, before they go to E3, they play the games behind closed doors, and they don't talk about them because they're under NDA. And then they talk about them, right? And again, because they've got all those people in one place, they can invite them to the PlayStation 5 event and basically, kill two birds with one stone sort of thing, right? And then within this event, they could talk about the PS5, but then also talk about Ghost of Tsushima, Iron Man VR as well, by the way, and Last of Us. And then also promote the PS5 and the PS4 at the same time. Because again, the PS4, even though the PS5 is coming out, they still are going to be supporting the PS4.
I mean, that's what I want. Because, see, their way of promoting it will be way better than what Microsoft tried to fucking say today. They never said, hey, backwards compatibility. They dressed it up and said smart delivery. I'm going to be honest, bro. If you're an Xbox fan, you're trying to defend that wording, you're a dumbass. How fucking hard is it to say backwards compatibility? Because it's a word we all know. And you guys especially love that word. You love backwards compatibility. Are you literally going to run around the internet and start saying smart delivery instead of backwards compatibility? Is that what you really want? Nah, bro. Basically, they're trying to say the simplest thing. You gotta have backwards compatibility, but don't dream too much, because if it's a game that's not currently supported by their program as of last year, I mean, it might not get that support even with a new system.
That's the thing that Son Sam commented on Jason Schreier's tweet of his article about this, right? And he said that, and again, it wasn't just him, Son Sam, it was others as well, including myself. When it comes to smart delivery, all of their Xbox studios will be doing this, right? Because again, it's their idea. But when it comes to publishers, right? CD Projekt Red is the only one that's confirmed doing this. That doesn't necessarily mean that EA, Ubisoft, Activision will be playing ball with this idea, because as we all know, those guys would try to get as much money out of you as possible, whether it's buying a second copy of that game or having to spend $10 or $5 to upgrade on those games. And again, it's down to the publisher, right? But, me talking about this, right, and also, because you got the image up on your stream, right? When it comes, just looking at the image, right, the reason why they do these sort of images is because, as we all know, not saying everybody, but most people do not like to read things, right? They want the simple aspects to digest news. In that sense, is that, right? That's the most easiest, simplest of terms to digest news on an Xbox, as a console, right? And it's like, okay, so it's, oh, wow, okay. And it's like, again, not a lot of people know about teraflops or variable, rate shading. But again, it sounds really interesting to most people, like, when they hear it. And then smart delivery is like, what's that? It's like, it sounds really cool. But again, you won't understand what smart delivery is until you actually read what it actually is, right? But you see, this is basic. This is a marketing. It's a marketing term that people within market use this term, right? And it's something they like to do, and it's called lip service, right? It's basically talking dirty to the consumer or to an investor to basically somewhat pamper them up to the extent of them buying whatever they're trying to sell. And that's what that is, right? It's perfect lip service from Xbox, where it's like 12 teraflops, variable rate shading, hardware acceleration, DirectX ray tracing, and quick resume in multiple games and smart delivery. It's like, you see it, you're like, oh, that sounds really good. And again, I expect PlayStation to do the same exact thing. I mean, they've already done it, to be honest. At CES, they had, SSD, they had backwards compatibility, they had ray tracing, they had, God, what else do they have on their thing? I forgot now. They had loads of, like, they had 5 different things. But again, it's just a sense of making it quick and simple for consumers to digest the news, like whether you're, whether you read the sort of things that they put down or whether you just want just quick and easy things. And again, this is not a dig at Microsoft, like basically saying that they are, like, it's not me saying that Microsoft are treating their fan base as if they're retarded. They're not. It's just an easy fucking aspect.
Hold on. Some of them are. You know it's fucking true, bro.
There are some idiots. I ain't gonna lie. There are some idiots, but not all of them.
Okay, because some of them are, bro. Like, some of them really are.
I wouldn't use the word retarded, because that's just fucking...
Oh, I'm not going to use that word, but some of them really have some fucking issues, so,
I'll rephrase the word in a better tone, which is stupid. But yes, like, there are people that are like that, not all of them. Like, I'm not saying every Xbox fan's stupid, like, because, again, PlayStation have got them as well. Let's be honest. They have got them. But, yeah. Like... No, like Jessica, like I just said, no, we know PlayStation fans. There are PlayStation fans that are fucking stupid. We know. We've met some.
Hold on. By the way, I just want to clear the record. I think I did this 2-3 different times. That AP guy was he confirmed after that drama that happened with me with that scandal bullshit that he was trolling the PlayStation community the whole time. Now, I don't know where his allegiance lies. I don't think it's with Xbox, so it's obviously with PC. But he did claim that all he did was to make the PlayStation community look bad. Like, I don't, like, before, whenever he started floating around us, we have no affiliation with that guy. Yeah, we got no affiliation with him. He's not.
Saying Dragon 16, I've seen some of your comments. I haven't been addressing them. I'm sorry if I'm like I'm not.
He's new. I haven't saw this guy except for today.
So no, again, he's mentioned a few things here and there. And I like what you're saying as well. What we're hearing from Sony is gonna be an extra ARMS chip. Yeah, like, again, like, it is this sense of, like, I feel that Sony on teraflops, I don't think they're gonna have as much teraflops as what Xbox have, but I think what they don't have in that sort of area, they'll make up in others, which you have mentioned some of them before. But I don't think that the PlayStation is 9 teraflops. I think it'll be 10 at the very least. But I said this earlier on, if Xbox Series X is to be $500, theoretically, I think, like, if that's the case for them, I expect PlayStation to be roughly around the same sort of teraflops and the same sort of, like, basically the specs of both consoles very, very similar. Just a very minute thing. It's like, kind of like with PS4 and the Xbox One, where the difference was 1080p 60 or 30, 1080 and 720 900p 60-30, you know, that whole shenanigans that happened at the beginning of this gen, right? Because again, PlayStation fans did poke fun at Xbox. Let's all be honest, they did do it like, we got 1080p, you got 720 or 900p. It's like a bit childish, yes, but again, it was just, you know, it depends on how you took it. A lot of people I know took it as like good banter, you know, as simple as, but you know, but yeah, I don't think, looking at the news that Xbox has delivered, right? Again, I've said this before, I expected this from Xbox, right? If they did not do this, I would be somewhat concerned with Xbox, because they are needing to do this more than Sony. Let's be honest. More, like, they are needing definitely to do this more than Sony.
I just saw something on Twitter that Ariana Grande was on Jim Carrey's show called Kidding. That's crazy. Like, you never see certain celebrities in the same spot together at the same time. It's always awesome. Oh, bro, by the way, I binge watched the fuck out of almost every episode of Hot Ones. That's a amazing fucking shit.
Well, how do we not own it? Wait, you only started watching that?
I watched a couple episodes months ago, but I don't follow like a lot of different things on YouTube. So
I'll tell you what though, one thing I'm watching right now, they have 3 volumes of this show, right? It's this show on Netflix called The Chef, with Jon Favreau, which is based off of the film that he made years ago called Chef.
Oh,
He
I
just
love that. Wait up. That was a show or a movie? Because I watched the movie, I think.
It was a movie, but
Yeah.
he's done a show where he's done the recipes within the film, and like, dude, the food that this guy cooks up with his mate, and
I saw a trailer of that today, and I was like, bro, I wanted to watch it, but it will make me hungry. You know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start watching that when I go to Chicago in April, because my sister said that meeting or shit she got, we should be able to travel around Chicago and sightsee. So I have some good food to eat over there. But
we're digressing this whole again. I think we've covered the basis of what the fuck happened today with Xbox Series X. So I think us talking about food is a good way of just going, let's just turn the script.
Yeah, I mean, it's not much. I mean, you're looking at it. It's 5 bullet points. One of them is obvious. The first one is really fucking obvious. We've been hearing 12 teraflops for months now. I don't know about that shading thing. I'm not a not big tech guy. I know I have tech in my name. There's a reason for that. The hardware accelerated ray tracing, that's obvious. We already knew both consoles would go to ray tracing. The quick resume, I haven't heard about. I heard rumors about something like that, but I didn't really pay attention to it. Other than that, it's like how long am I gonna be hung up on this? Probably only today. We're gonna have to talk about this with the rest of the panel on the Sunday show.
It'll be a discussion. I mean, I have nothing else to say because I've already spoken my obviously I'll probably address certain things, obviously, but I think it's pretty much
the PS5. I would expect it to be, like Adam said, roughly around the same amount as the Xbox. And that's not a bad thing. It might be a tad bit more by 1 or 2 points. Who knows? Might be 6 points. But the way that they do their system, Sony, they know that even if they're gonna have very similar architecture, they're gonna have something secret in their system that gives them an edge. That's what they did with the PS4, and it fucking looked like it paid off. Because even though they had similar architecture, PlayStation was doing fucking 1080p and Xbox just couldn't do it on a lot of their games. So whatever Mark Cerny did, bro, I trust that motherfucker, bro. Like, Adam knows a lot more about him when it comes to the tech side. But as far as me knowing what he was able to achieve with this system and the Vita, and I had a Vita, and God, was that an amazing system, bro. Like, he brought the fucking power out of that system. Look, bro, I trust that guy. If he's behind it, I know he's putting some secret sauce in it that's gonna give him an edge in certain departments. So I think we'll be all right. I don't think we're gonna be like in their boat. I don't think we're gonna be in their boat. Yeah, plus, we gonna have a lot of shit. Like, obviously, we have to have backwards compatibility because it was confirmed that the VR was still gonna work with the new system. So we already know that. Sony's gonna announce that Last of Us. Hey, if you buy Last of Us and you get the PS5, you'll get an enhanced version of it. Like, I already know that's gonna be talked about. So why the fuck am I freaking out about Microsoft fucking doing it? I'm not. Like, we know this is gonna happen with both consoles, bro. They're gonna have games that come out before the systems, and they're gonna get enhancement. It's just like a mid-gen refresh. Remember, like, I didn't know that Doom had a 4K 60 frame mode, Adam, and then you let me know that, hey, that game got a patch, and I was like, what? It got a patch? Yeah. And then I swapped back over after I was capturing, and I was like, oh shit, bro, it did get a fucking patch. Look at how good this shit looks. Bro, it's just like a mid-gen refresh. Developers, they're gonna do it. They're gonna fucking do it. Hey, we're gonna have a free update patch. We're gonna have a patch for this. It's just like saying, hey, the Pro has Pro mode, right? Where the PS5 games that are gonna be on the PS5, they're gonna have a PS5 mode where they're gonna be running better than the Pro. It's really simple. I don't know why any developer would try to charge you for that, for an upgrade, bro. Like, that right there is going to make that developer look like some shit, whoever it may be, first party or third party. Like, that is not something that I hope any developer says, we're going to charge you for an upgrade. You know, for a graphical upgrade. Nah, man. Fuck out of here with that. No, we already paid top price for your game. Many of us. You know, I don't see no reason why they should ever try to fix their lips to say that shit. I could see EA and Activision doing some dumb shit like that though. Adam, you still there?
Yeah, only time reduces one's chances.
I'm hoping that Anthem does get a fix because I would love to re-download that game and play it again. I don't think it's a horrible game, but I don't think they knew what the fuck they were doing. You know, hopefully, whenever they redo the whole thing, it'll be something worth downloading again. Because I already paid for it.
What is not called by resurrection, it has a chance to occur only when the wolf tree dies repeatedly.
Yeah, me too, man. Like, yeah, Sony been talking about ray tracing for a while, bro. Like, they already confirmed it last year that the PS5's got a hardware based ray tracing, and then didn't they just reconfirm a lot of this fucking shit at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas in January? Like, I mean, it's crazy.
Well, what's that?
Hardware ray tracing. It was like these bullet points. Remember the bullet points? I'm gonna put them up on a TV.
Wait, you talking about PlayStation, you mean?
Yeah, they had the bullet points on at the CES at 2020. Remember they showed the logo, but then they had the bullet points.
Oh yeah. I said that earlier on. Yes,
Yeah,
they reinvigorated the information they've already brought out, which again, not everyone read those articles. So like, fuck it, let's put it out there again.
You know what? Let's use the power of dreams to show people the power that you suck ass. Okay, I'm about to hop in a nice hot shower, right? I got some snacks here. I'm gonna go watch some fucking Netflix or something or a TV show, and then I'm gonna just
right there in front of you.
Fucking chill. Yeah, that's what I changed it to it right here. Okay, so look, this is what I'm saying. This is why I find it funny that Xbox fans are so easily fucking impressed, right? So they have 5 points, right, for Xbox today, and they have 5 points for PlayStation in January. But I'm supposed to get excited for Xbox because they showed what the system shell is gonna look like. Get the fuck out of here. So 3D audio sound, right? Haptic adaptive triggers, ultra high speed SSD, hardware based ray tracing, ultra HD Blu-ray. Sony did all right, bro. I don't see why anybody bitching. Why is anybody worried about? Why is people worried about this shit? I think they did all right, man. They gave us what some of the features were gonna be, bro. Like the people that are freaking out, you have no reason to freak out. Sony has 2 systems they're working on promoting this year. It's not just one. Microsoft only has one. The Xbox One is basically dead. It is basically a dead system. They have no real ambitions and fighting this fucking war that's over already. They are focused on the new generation. Like,
well, they did this shit years ago, man. They like Phil already. He came out and mentioned that basically digressed the aspects of he doesn't care about the console war. He even said the console war's over. Doesn't care about it. And the thing is, even today, like you've literally seen some fans like, oh no, it isn't dead, it's still alive now. It's apparently resurrected because they've now got this information, which is like, it's this stupid back and forth, which I just think fucking just stupid now.
Did you hear about the Little Shop of Horrors remake? That shit's about to be crazy. That's about to be a crazy movie. Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Taron.
Yeah, what's the Jessica JSK? Like, you meant So the X and the S. I mentioned this earlier on, but again, like this is where it comes down to. When we were discussing about like what would make people want to buy an Xbox Series X, right? And the thing is, Xbox theoretically they've already come out and said. They don't want you to buy the X. They're not pressurizing their they're not pressurizing people to get the X, right? Because again, they're treating the Xbox now as a more of an ecosystem than as like a traditional layout of what consoles would normally be, which is the brand new console is how you play the brand new games, right? Which is what PlayStation are still doing But again, it will probably be like again, it's because of what happened this generation, right? But I do expect PlayStation to somewhat change certain things within their services and so on and so forth. But when it comes to, again, the X and the S, is that adds to the sense of, again, they'll bring out the S, which will be, I think it'll be $400. I think the PS5 will be 500, and then the X will be 600. But that's only if the PS5 and the Xbox Series X are different in specs, meaning PS5 is lower than Xbox X Series X. But if they're the same, then I would probably say that they're both would be 500. Because I see, even though Xbox could definitely sell their consoles at a loss, they can definitely, because obviously Microsoft are the ones that are backing them. Obviously, they don't give them all the money in the world, but they can sell their consoles more at a loss than what PlayStation can. And even though they can, I don't think they will. I feel like they will. They don't mind going into next generation, having to play the sort of long game, because again, I don't see what transpired at the beginning of this generation. I don't see happening next generation, because again, Xbox have learned from the mistakes. They've got their head screwed on. Definitely have got their head screwed on now, which is good, because it leaves a better a better battleground or playground in which these two can compete against one another. Even though Phil Spencer has said that we are not competing with Sony and Nintendo, that's bullshit. Because you're definitely not competing with Amazon and Google, because they right now are not in the right form to be in the gaming industry. Like Stadia is not doing well, and Amazon have barely even put their foot in the water when it comes to gaming. They talked about they haven't done anything. So I still think that their main competition is, they know it's PlayStation or Nintendo in some sense. Anyway, where are the games to show the reason? Yeah, I understand, Yella. We've already stated this. They absolutely true. They have to wait for these games to come out.
Exactly. So look, man, it's been a running joke, Yella and Adam. Wait until E3. I don't even know why Microsoft talked today when we know you're not really gonna give out any valuable information until E3. So if you're gonna wait until E3, which they know they need it more than anybody, because see, if they do a live stream, nobody will really watch that shit. Not comparable to PlayStation. Like, I'll be honest. Remember when Last of Us got that latest gameplay last year, and everybody watched it for the release date reveal? Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
that shit generated way more views than the previous Inside Xbox. So it's basically been confirmed multiple times that if Sony fucking does some sort of live stream live stream presentation, they will get more people over there to watch, including Xbox fans. So Microsoft needs the stage at E3. They need it desperately. They even don't matter how bad the virus is, they're still going over there. And yeah, maybe a lot of Xbox fans get the virus. Who knows? Maybe some of these motherfuckers won't be live streaming no more. That might be good for us.
The thing is, with us saying this sort of thing, right? Because again, I mentioned this before, right? When it comes, again, E3, the thing is about E3 is that,
over there looking like a piece of butter because he's so light skinned.
I don't think the mass majority of people care about Sony or Microsoft. They just want the games to be honest. And again, I just got again, that is literally that is the sense. You see, people, again, with today and when they reveal these consoles completely, right, with the dates and the the full reveals of these things, right? People they put more focus on Sony and Microsoft than what they would do with the games, right? But the thing is, me saying that is kind of stupid, because when people watch these conferences, they get excited for the games, but then for some reason, it's just like they compute it as if it's Sony and Microsoft, and it's like no, like again, I'm gonna watch the Microsoft E3 conference, but I'm not watching it because of the Series X. I know what I'm getting from the Series X. I'm going to watch that thing because I'm hoping that Phil Spencer and the people behind Xbox as a brand are going to deliver on these games that they've, the studios that they bought and the games that they're going to be making and the services and the future of their brand. If they, and the thing is, by the way, last year, think about it in this sense, right? Last year they had the stage. Sony were not at E3. They had the stage all to themselves to throw out as much as they want, and every person, including Xbox fans, after that event felt drained because they did not get what they wanted. They didn't get Fable. They didn't get Halo gameplay. They only got like a little in-game cutscene. I don't know what the fuck it was. And some other things here and there. They didn't get what they wanted. Whereas this time around, they have to deliver on Fable, Initiative's game, Obsidian, and maybe what they're working on, Hellblade 2, and some of the other project with Ninja Theory. Some new things that might surprise people as well. Like, that's the other thing. I would like, when it comes to E3, I'm more focused on the things that I don't know about, like the surprises, which I remember was in 2016 at PlayStation's conference. They started with God of War. I knew that game was around, but I didn't know what God of War was going to look like. That game looked completely different. And then you had Spider-Man, which was rumored, again, there was a rumored Marvel game that was going to be made by Sucker Punch, but it wasn't Sucker Punch, it was Insomniac. And then you had Days Gone with Ben Studio, which was their brand new IP, which I heard about. But again, I didn't know anything about, I didn't know what the theme was about it. They had, Death Stranding, you had Crash Bandicoot coming back. Oh god, what else do you have? You had Last Guardian. There's so much more. VR was another thing as well. VR was definitely another thing. Resident Evil 7 was on that. Wasn't it Resident Evil 7 at that event? I think it was. I'm trying to remember. I think it was. But again, that's what it all comes down to, I feel like, with these things. Let's have a look real quick. Some feelings.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, Adam. I agree with that. But let's be honest, the games are not going to be multi-plat, Jessica. So you do care who's presenting the games. If Microsoft presents Halo, Halo is not going to be on the PS5. If PlayStation comes out and presents the new Ratchet and Clank, we know the new Ratchet and Clank is not going to be on Xbox. So again, in a way, you know who to look forward to. You know who is a little bit different. They're not going to have their event or their presentation or their live stream to say, hey, all of these games are going to be playable everywhere. So yes, in a way, you're looking forward to Sony to reveal games specifically for the PS5 because that's what they're known for doing. Microsoft, they're going to talk about games that's available on Xbox as well as PC. But yeah, we can't look at Sony and say, hey, let's see what multiplats are coming out on everybody's platform, because we know at least 40% to 50% of that conference is going to be about exclusives. So we can't go and say, hey, it doesn't matter if Sony fucking has a conference or anybody else has a conference. Let both of them do a conference together on the same exact stage because every game is on every platform. That's not realistic because that's not how it is. So yes, I do care about seeing a Sony conference or a Sony live stream revealing the PS5 over seeing a Microsoft conference at E3 because I know what to expect. It's like when you see that Sony Interactive Entertainment, like let's say if I start up Bloodborne, you know what to expect when you play a Sony game. You know it's not available anywhere else, right?
Again, it's that sense of...
No, I mean, I agree with you said, but I know what she was getting at. What she was getting at is a little bit different from what you were saying.
No, she stated it. It's the sense of, but Halo's on PC, right? And obviously with PlayStation, you can't play Bloodborne on PC.
You see that right there? You see that Sony Computer Entertainment? You know what that means.
Well,
So
yeah, no, that's the
you
thing,
can't
though,
like
that,
no, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Jessica. What I'm
no, no,
saying
no,
is
no, that's
you
what I'm
can't
saying,
say
Jeff,
it
but
doesn't matter of Sony or Microsoft. I just care about the games. Well, the
that's the
games are
thing,
not
right?
going to be
That's the
on
thing.
every platform. The games are going to be on specific
But
platforms.
this is the
So you
thing when it
have to
comes to
care at a
play.
certain point. At a
Yeah, but the
certain
thing
point, you
when
have to
it
care.
here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, right? She just said it right there. Sony paid for the game. We've already mentioned this. Yes, they definitely paid for the game, right? That's one of the
It
reasons
was a
why.
partnership. You know,
Well, yeah,
Sony
I understand.
Japan
Yeah, but again,
also
like
worked on the game.
here's the thing with Bloodborne, right? And people need to understand this, right? From Software were part of making this game, but people tend to forget that Japan Studios, a Sony-owned studio, were also making this game.
Yep.
It was a 50-50 partnership.
There you
right?
go.
That's how it goes down. When it
So
comes down,
if you guys were really wondering why there was no
Jay,
word of this game even going to another platform,
but,
it's not because, hey, Sony paid for this game to be exclusive. When is
yeah,
that fucking contract gonna wear off? Well, the contract can't wear off, like Adam said, if it's a 50-50 partnership. I don't think the contract's gonna wear off. The game's been out for 5 fucking years. If
it's
what
been
you're
out for a long
saying
time.
in any type of negative light, hey, Sony paid for the game, it's not really exclusive. Yes, it is. They actually worked hard on this game themselves.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, here's the thing as well to add on to this, right? It's apart from obviously the payment aspect, right?
let me go into another game since you want to nitpick.
It also comes down to the point of, again, I talked about this earlier on. Companies don't want to be the same
I
as
go
each
into
other.
Horizon Zero Dawn since you want to nitpick.
Like, yeah, what's going on? Companies do not want to be the same as one another because if they're basically theoretically the same, then it's that sense of like, how do we bring people over to our side, right? Like, and this is the thing, Xbox, so how they're doing that with them is they are doing the Game Pass, they are doing these small intricate things with services, whereas with PlayStation, their main selling point is to do with exclusive games you cannot go anywhere else for. Yes, there have been rumors about certain games that are apparently going to PC, but have not ever been confirmed by Sony themselves. Until that happens, it's still theirs.
You want to know what I want to say about that thing right there? Because we're playing Horizon Zero Dawn. That rumor came out on the 17th, right? So it's past 2 months old.
Yeah.
As soon as we get to March 17th, the rumor will be 3 months old. So this is the same thing. Like, you guys keep saying shit, right? Like Adam just says. But until it's actually confirmed, it's not real. And it's not true.
Well, yes.
So again, there were a lot of people that said that Bloodborne would come over because Dark Souls 3 was being made as a multi-platform title.
Yes.
And it just never happened. But they forget that Bloodborne wasn't made just by From Software. Everybody says, hey, From Software, the only person that made it. Sony paid for the game to be exclusive. That's not the full story.
Well, yeah, again, like, I mean, the guy that made, was, making Bloodborne, the what's his name, what's his name now, creator of Bloodborne, he does not do sequels, and also, I think it was like end last year, somebody asked him what's his favourite game that he's made, and Bloodborne was his favourite game that he's made. Wasn't Sekiro, wasn't Dark Souls, wasn't Demon Souls, it was that game.
You want to know why? Because he had the freedom. And like you said, he doesn't like to do sequels. If he doesn't have to, he will not do sequels, bro. He won't.
I don't know why he picked Bloodborne, but it's clear that there was a reasoning behind it. I don't know if that was it. I don't know if it was another reason entirely, but that was what
that game was wild, bro. You talking about umbilical cords and blood and shit. Yeah. Like, that game was wild, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, here's the thing, going back to it, right, with PlayStation, that's, like, the aspects of companies, that's what it is, right? Nintendo, like, the thing that I never really get when it comes to the sense of, like, again, I understand that PC fans want to get Bloodborne on PC and some others on PC, but I never see that for, Nintendo and, the same sort of passion against Nintendo games. And I always wonder that. And I never really get a solid answer from people.
Wait, what? What are you asking?
I don't know. I'm asking why PC fans are not giving the same energy off for Nintendo games. Like, why are we not getting Mario Odyssey on PC?
Okay, well, this I tell you, because I used to be a Nintendo fan. I still am pretty much a Nintendo fan. The reason why, because I've dabbled in modding and everything like that, the reason why they do that is because they have the emulator running. They already have a Nintendo Switch as well as a Wii U emulator. And they don't believe that, Nintendo is like a little brother to the PC community. I don't know why, but the Switch is like a brother. So they don't really beg a lot because they already have that emulator and they don't want to make the Switch look bad.
It's easy to emulate, and it doesn't push PC graphics. But here's the thing though, like, I've seen I've seen PC games, right? Not all of them are like stunning visually. Like you go on Steam, there's loads of games that you can play that are not visually stunning. So that shouldn't even be a fucking factor. I mean, needless to say, like great games that have come out over the years necessarily haven't pushed the boundaries of graphic fidelity or how pretty they look or what they've been able to do. Like, I remember when Journey won Game of the Year, or even like think about the Untitled Goose Game. That doesn't push the boundaries of graphics, but it won Game of the Year. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, graphics, visuals, all that shit, that's just an addition to games on, like, delivering whatever it may be on the vision aspect.
But when you look at that fucking water though, Adam.
But it depends on, like, again, like, when it comes to devs, it's what they want in their games, right? They could make a very good narrative game, story, gameplay, but then visually it could look absolute shite. But, PC games don't push PC graphics, but they want it, though. Well, yeah, that's it. Like, they do want it. Of course they do. Like, it is what it is. Like, it's like, I just feel the sense of when it comes to PlayStation, that is their narrative of what they want to do when it comes to selling their console, right? Because a lot of people say this on PlayStation.
And this is the thing. For PlayStation, and PC fans know this, they think that if PlayStation does it, they understand. Well, okay, let me explain this, Adam. I've done a lot of debates. I've talked to a lot of these guys. So there's a half and half, right? Some PC fans want the chaos. They want Sony to go away. They believe that if Sony goes away, gives away all their exclusives to the PC platform, their system won't sell and that they will be forced to make those same games with the same quality, the same budget, only for the PC, right? Then there's others that believe that there could be some sort of coexistence where they could give all their games away, put them on PC, and still sell their console at full price. And for PlayStation, I don't see that ever happening. Because that would hurt them a lot. And it will hurt them a lot. That's why I find it so silly when people say, hey, it won't do anything. You can still put the games on PC. No, bro. It would do a lot to PlayStation. It's just like asking Nintendo to put all their Zelda and Mario games on PC and PlayStation and Xbox. And they won't fucking fuck up their sales projections for the Switch. It will. And it will. But I'm still waiting for that Horizon Zero Dawn confirmation because the longer and longer it takes, it seems like it was not something that was real. And if it might have at any point been real, it might have changed. And again, whoever it was the sources, they could have been talking about this game being reworked so it can be of better quality on a PS5. Just like what we're hearing about the Xbox. And I told people that. I've talked to you about this, Adam. That that a lot of these newer AAA quality games that sold over 10 million, these games are obviously being reworked for the PS5 so they can be enhanced. And I know Horizon Zero Dawn is one of those games.
Yeah.
But, hey, people believe what you want to believe. Just don't believe in it too hard. Man, when you look at this fucking game, God, how old is this? Like 3 years old, 4 years old? Fuck.
Game they want on their PC that could run
the PC Master Bates. Bro, I call them the PC port begging race because 8,000 years ago they were port begging for PlayStation exclusives. 8,000 years ago.
I mean, this is it's that sense. It's that old fucking saying that you can't get everything in fucking life. That is literally how it goes down.
Yeah,
and
you can't get Bloodborne on a PC.
And it can't. No. Let me just say it may be a shitty thing to say, but it is that sense. If you were, when you're a child, if you were that sort of child that asked for everything you were given in fucking life, you weren't fucking raised right. You just weren't, right? Because kids like that, right, fucking do not learn shit. Simple as. They don't. You know, if they don't know the value of a fucking dollar or a pound or money, whatever the fuck it may be in the currency, that's what it comes down to. Right? And when it comes to the exclusive aspect of PlayStation, that's the reason why PlayStation do not, again, it's that sense of PlayStation understand the value of their exclusive. They know that people will go out and buy that console to get that exclusive. And I see a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm not going to be at PlayStation because I will buy a PlayStation for this exclusive." Then later down the line, I see PC fans or Xbox or Nintendo fans do just that. They 100% do that. Like, and the whole narrative of Horizon Zero Dawn, again, you can wait as long as you want for that game, but if that game does not come to PC ever, right, you can't blame Sony, you can't blame other things around it, you can't blame the devs, because again, they're not concentrating on that. It comes down to this sense as well that, when developers, studios are making these games, they want to make these games, deliver on these promises, right, and then want to move on, right? They don't want additional work to be implemented into these games, right? Developers have enough fucking problems when it comes down to releasing a game that's either buggy or not working. And that's what it is. Like Cyberpunk 2077, that game will fundamentally come out, it will be great, yes, but that game will have bugs, it'll have glitches like every other game would, because that's what happens.
Oh, I know, bro. I've already told you that I knew they were going to have an enhancement for that game for next-gen systems, and I told you, what did I say, Adam? I said, I'm not buying it. I'm going to wait. Now, Sam saying he's going to buy it, so I will play it earlier than what I project. But as far as me buying it on my account, I won't be doing that until I get the PS5 version, and know what the enhancements will be for that. Because we know that game's meant for next-gen. It's very ambitious.
Well, yes, that is true, but even like today, they brought out the statement of this what's it called again? Fast delivery, whatever the fuck it was called, smart delivery, right? They only confirmed that you'll be able to buy the game on Xbox One and then play it on the Series X. They didn't confirm that it will be graphically improved, if I'm not mistaken. If it has, I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they did not say that.
I'm about to put this picture on Twitter and ask people where that PC port is because y'all.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I see, yeah, like I said this earlier on. You can play Bloodborne on PC via PS Now.
Yep.
But obviously, yeah, I understand people want people want like an actual version. But this is what I'm saying. Like, do you actually think that From Software will go out their way or stop development of Elden's Ring?
And the other game that they got in development, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, whatever it could be. Like, again, but it's that sense. Do you think they would stop development of their next project to go back and do that? No. And I don't know if it's gonna require. I don't think it will require much work, but I don't see them doing it. Like, I just don't.
I don't know, bro. It's just, okay, Bloodborne is one of the games they really want. They really could care less about Horizon Zero Dawn until the rumors started popping up. They could care less.
Again, like ports are done by someone else, but again, who would do it? On a PC, again, who would
do it? And would Sony say we're gonna invest in this port to put it on PC? Because again, like Adam has said, Bloodborne was a partnership. It was not, hey, Sony is paying fucking From Software to make this game exclusively for PlayStation. If they did that, just like any other fucking third-party contract, the contract eventually would expire.
just real quick, Jessica, on your recent statement about, they would just, if anything, they would just make a second Bloodborne game and make it multi-platform. I don't know if when you say when you say second Bloodborne game, do you mean sequel? Because if that's the case, they won't be able to make that multi-platform. Because again, I can send you the link. By the way, I can send you the link for this. Someone asked the creator of Bloodborne, right? The from the main guy from Software, right? That was helping Japan Studios. And someone asked, like you're saying, right? So basically, if we want to see a Bloodborne 2 game, it's not in From Software's hands. It's in Japan Studios and Sony's hands. He's already confirmed he wants to make Bloodborne 2. He's just waiting for Sony to say, go ahead and make it. So he's waiting for Sony, not the other way around. Just clarify that. So it won't be a multi-platform game, not unless Sony allow it. That's if Sony, again, it's one of those things. So, I mean, again, it's out there. There's an actual thing that's out there that stands, makes my point valuable, or whatever. Well, but yeah, like he is waiting for Japan Studios and Sony. If they say, "Hey, listen, we want to make Bloodborne 2, we can do it," then he'll go on and he will help them make that game. But right now, they haven't said anything. Not as of yet. Maybe they are doing.
And that's the thing. Like, so many people believe the ball is completely in From Software's court as far as porting Bloodborne 1 or creating Bloodborne 2, and in reality, it's actually not. Now, I'm not saying Sony controls everything, but they do have the IP. They do have half of the other studio that helped create the game. So you got to give them some credit. I find it so fucked up that PC fans are completely disrespectful to Sony as far as them making these games possible, but then you want them to give you the games. So you got to disrespect them, but then you got to tell them you need to give us the game while you're disrespecting them.
I'm going to say this right now. Again, I've already stated this as well, because I played Bloodborne last year, platinumed it, because that was my first. Again, I played Bloodborne when it came out on PS Plus for like a couple of days. I didn't like it. I went back to it last year, got into it, platinumed it, thoroughly enjoyed it. When it comes to Bloodborne 2, I agree with you. They don't need to make a Bloodborne 2. Theoretically, they could leave Bloodborne, and they can make a brand new game for PlayStation.
That's what I want them to do.
And make whatever it may be, if they wanted to. And again, he's already, by the way, Jessica, as well, and this is his own words. He's come out and said that he enjoyed working with Sony, and when it comes to acquisitions of studios, one of the studios that's always mentioned when it comes to Sony acquiring studios is From Software. Because obviously, I don't want to be that person bringing sales and units and what sells, that game, what like platform, the copies of the platform of their game that sell the most. But it is PlayStation, and if he's, again, the guy sees that. So if Sony give him a certain amount of money to buy him and his studio, and they give him the freedom, which they definitely will do, he would take that offer. And I am, again, I believe this as well. I very much believe this will be a case, because Insomniac Games held a massive grudge against PlayStation for years because they chose Naughty Dog over them. The reason why Insomniac took the aspects of being acquired by Sony, last year at Gamescom, was because they could see the environment around them, seeing the studios that were independent going under, like Telltale Games at that point in time, Evolution Studios, loads of studios were going, right? Loads of them. And all the IPs that Insomniac have made, like Ratchet and Clank, Sunset Overdrive, Resistance, and Spider-Man now, they didn't own. They just did not own. So they thought, fuck it. Sony, we're going to be with you. And they settled. And they're in a better place right now with Sony. Because Sony, they respect them to a massive degree and what they are able to do. But yeah, what's it here? From Software will be very good to acquire expensive but good. Yeah, I agree. Like, yes, they will definitely be expensive. I would probably say they would at least cost, I would say, around the 300 million range. Because Insomniac were 230 million? So I would say From Software is roughly around 300 million. I would say. Maybe a little less, I don't know. 280, 300 million. You know, like, I remember people saying, like, you know, CD Projekt Red was going to be purchased by Microsoft. It's like, you're joking me. Like, do you know how much they're worth? Like, and that's just one part.
Look, after that Netflix series, their value completely skyrocketed.
I tell you right now, bro, that CD Projekt Red, mate, like, CD Projekt Red, they're mobile things. They are a film. They are TV. They do TV. They do books, and they do games. No, they do a lot.
Yeah, they do a lot. They call them lot pack. They call them. It's all right, Adam. I try to talk to people like this all the time, but they don't want to see reason. Look, it's all right for you to want a game on your platform, but you got to be realistic. You know, you really do. At a certain point, you have to be realistic. If it's not coming to your platform, it's not coming. It's all right for a game to be exclusive. Nintendo has tons of exclusives, and nobody bitches about them keeping their games. So I don't know what happened this generation that made the PC community focus on PlayStation's games and why they're only on a PlayStation hardware, but it's kind of silly. You know, like, I don't question why games are only on PC all the time. I mean, it is just the way it is. Maybe developers like that platform. You know, there's so many reasons. But, guys, it's getting late. We're only going to stay here for another 20 minutes. I'm going to go probably hop in the shower and let Adam to talk to a wall for the next 20 minutes.
No, I'm good. I'm playing Sekiro. I've been talking for a long time.
I know. So we might just wrap it up in the next 3 minutes.
Well, I would rather be playing again. Like, this next gen shit. It's a sense of you can't play. Well, you can play some games and talk, but if you play like again like Sekiro, you're playing games.
Oh, like, hell yeah, bro. Yeah.
You need to concentrate and all bits and bobs. And again, like, I understand Xbox fans, again, you know, they have the right to be excited for what they got today. But, like, you know, I haven't, again, if you're putting this much effort into this as news and just hardware next gen talk in general, and, you know, I was to turn around and say, but, you know, like, do you play games? And they go, yeah, I play games. It's like, well, you don't look like it because you're on Twitter all the time. Again, like, I would rather be playing games and talking about next-gen hardware. Like I said earlier on, I'm more excited as to what I'm going to be playing within the coming months, not what I'm going to be fucking buying, you know, later on down the year. Like, simple as what it can be.
Yeah, I agree. And look, like I said, it's funny. I completed Dreams. I'm about to work on these other games, including Doom. I do want to beat Doom before the end of the week. Hopefully I can. Then at the end of the week, I got the Neo Part 2 beta, which I will participate in, even though I don't plan on buying the game. And then after that, I'll be waiting for April to roll around so I can get Final Fantasy. But in March, that's when I'm going to pre-order the Digital Deluxe. And yeah, bro, I mean, that's the next big, huge ticket game that the world will not shut up about. Like, I guarantee you, when that game comes out, bro, pictures, video clips, live streams will be flowing. It's a huge event. It's probably going to be bigger than any of the last Halo events of our time. Bro, people are going to be waiting out line and, like, having fucking parties and shit with cloud wigs. Bro, it's going to be awesome. And look, nobody's saying the game's not coming to your platform of choice, Xbox or PC, but you got to wait because you got to be 100% respectful. If it wasn't for PlayStation, that game probably wouldn't have had the popularity that it has today. I mean, Final Fantasy VII was on PC when it released, and it didn't get the popularity that a console gave it. You know, that's facts. Call it facts.
Again, I am not playing on PC. I moved over from PC mainly because a lot of the games that they had initially went over to consoles, and again, I didn't really want to deal with like malware, software, like crap like that. And again, it was a sense of like just keeping up to date, and I just had no time for that as a person. Also, the sense that all the games that I really cared about, like Half-Life and all bits and bobs, Quake, Arena, Unreal Tournament, they are no longer being made. Now, obviously, Unreal Tournament was supposed to be made, but then Epic came to the senses of Fortnite is making fuck tons of money, and we're cancelling that game in general, which kind of just basically puts a nail in the coffin for me when it comes to PC gaming. It just does. No. The only thing that will bring me back to PC is if some fucking miracle, which could be a case, is if Half-Life comes back, which it could actually happen, theoretically, because Alex is coming out. Theoretically, anyway.
Okay. Well, guys, it is 9:41. I'm about to chill for the rest of the day. I'll be getting back on my trophy hunting or game completion hunting tomorrow morning when I wake up. And I thank everybody that came here. Hey, Rated D, how you doing, buddy? But yeah, it's look, it's just weird. It's weird to see a PC guy continuously, or PC guys or girls continuously beg for games that, for after 5 years, just never went over there. You know, there's obviously a reason. It's all right to have exclusives. I don't want to live in this world or a climate where people say it's illegal to have exclusives. Like that's dumb shit, bro. Like that's complete bullshit. You know? So, hey, it is what it is. Oh, shit, they made a fucking three-dimensional side-scroller. Damn, bro. Dreams is on there. Shit. This is impressive. Look at this. Shit, I fucking died. Look at this. Look at this fucking game. If anybody doesn't have any more questions, I'm going to end this live stream. If you're a PC port begging troll, get some fucking help, please. Like, I'm dead ass serious. Get some fucking help. That shit ain't. That ain't good for your health to continue to worry about another platform that you don't give two fucks about. You don't care about the company, but you want the games. Like, just please get some help. You know, port begging is not good for your health.
Fucking ogre, get fucking wrecked. Oh. That's the ogre dead. Piece of crap.
Okay, is that it?
Zing the case, man. Like I said, bro.
Okay. See you guys next time. Don't know what's gonna come out tomorrow. You know, we're in a way we're in the beginning of the next generation, and PAX is at the end of this week, so we don't know what news is gonna happen. I won't be taking off another day this week though. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Don't forget, you can contact me on Twitter at JayTechTV.
Yeah,
my PSN account is JayTechTV HD.
Just gotta say, I might as well plug myself as well, man. Fuck it, because I need some followers, man.
Plug yourself, bro. I be retweeting most of the shit you say.
My Twitter is admore93. Go and follow me on Twitter.
Wait up, spell that out for them because they might not find it.
Oh yeah, I'll just do it, man. I'll
Just type it in there in the comment
Yeah.
section. But yeah, Adam says some amazing things on Twitter. Most people don't pay him any attention, but he knows his shit. Trust me, he knows his shit.
Yeah, man. I just, for me, I deal with a few people on fucking Twitter that I think I give bad blood to, like, some fucking, like, today, like, I had a couple of Xbox fans think that I was giving major fucking bad blood to, what's it called again? The Xbox because of what I said in the narrative of now I've basically said because they've got the power, their studios have no excuses to not deliver on these crazy experiences in which I'm expecting from them. And obviously, people take that in many different ways, but I'm mainly voicing my opinion on I hope that they do well. Simple as what it can possibly be. You know, I want them to do well. I want Xbox to be in the fucking conversation. I wanted them to be in the conversation this fucking generation, like a bit more quicker anyway. And they did. You know, they did do it. But yeah. But anyway, people, it's great talking to everyone that was a part of this podcast. You know, obviously everyone's welcome, even though I know it's called the PlayStation Edition podcast. Everyone's like, oh, it's about PlayStation only. No, you can come in, talk about other things. You know, and obviously we'll talk about whether it may be, not all of them, but you know, we'll address it somewhat. Yeah.
I mean that I keep seeing that hype for. I know we touched on it a little bit. That fucking Animal Crossing hype, bro. Like that shit's crazy.
Yeah, it's real.
Man.
Yeah, it's real, and Snow Bunny knows it, man. Like,
I mean, you ever thought we would get to a part of this gaming shit where Animal Crossing is getting the type of praise and hype that Halo used to get? Remember when Halo used to come out and it got like those huge crowds of like lines of people and shit? Like it was crazy, bro.
I remember.
Damn, bro. Is it ever gonna get that way again? Like, is it ever?
We spoke about this, man. Like, I remember the 360 era where Gears. I mean, actually, the Xbox era and the 360 era. I remember seeing Halo and Gears being that fucking the energy behind those announcements was so powerful. But now I don't see that nearly as much. And I don't know if it's because people are starting to play other games and be interested in other games, or if it's just because those series have ran their courses. And I'm not saying they should get rid of them, but I do believe that 343 and Coalition should do their own sort of games. Like, they should definitely. They need to. Because both these studios have gone on to basically take over a project that they have not created themselves. You know, like, I'm talking the whole scenario of it. You know, but yeah, man. I kind of chased the ogre in Sekiro. Like, he got stuck, but then I kind of unstuck him because I don't want to fucking cheat it. It's a bit cheesy.
That's a nice little level right there.
Really, hit him twice, then jump on his head, hit him twice again, jump on his head. Pay 2 cents. I'll buy some information.
Okay, well, guys, that's it. Thank you for watching. If you feel that you need to subscribe, do subscribe, but also click that notification bell because you want to make sure you get notified, you know, when we go live again or I'll post up a video. I think tomorrow I'm going to post up a short video of the moment right after I got my platinum. But yeah, it was crazy, bro. Like, I can't believe I got the Dreams Platinum. I'm the 34th person in the world to get the Dreams Platinum. Like, it's a good achievement for me. But yeah, Dreams is amazing. Like, I'm telling you, if you have a PS4, please check this game out. Sometime through this year, check this game out.
Well, I tell you right now, guess what's trending at number 3?
What?
Dreams.
trending at number 3 for what? For what?
If you go onto YouTube Gaming, video, what's his name? Video Donkey did a video, and it basically states he does short videos, like kind of like a parody, making fun of it, but also just clarifying how good games are, some of the games that he plays, and he made a video on it, and it was trending at number 3. I'm pretty sure in gaming.
That's crazy, bro.
Which I again, that's how this game is going to fucking get stuff done.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's word of mouth, bro. It's gonna be that word of mouth. Like, it's really gonna be dope.
Video, I think his name was Video Donkey, right?
Video Donkey. He's a donkey that watches videos.
There you go, Dreams. 2.2 million views.
What the shit nuggets?
We released his video 2 days ago, but still, like it was at number 3. Now it's at number 30.
Damn, bro. Still good though.
It has gone down, but it's still getting trending in gaming.
Yeah, that's the power of dreams right there. God damn, bro. Fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. Just great. Such a great game. Okay, guys, really, I'm getting up out of here. I'm about to go chill for the rest of the night. You guys, you be safe. Okay? You guys have a good night. Eat good. Whatever you gotta do, play some games. I'm gonna chill, man. It's been a long day.
You can go now.